Good evening and welcome to the City of Dearborn Heights Planning Commission meeting. Today is Thursday, October 9, 2025. It is right now 6:11 p.m. I call the meeting to order. Can I get a roll call?
Ali Turfi,
Present.
Ali Ayub,
Present.
Fadi Akawi,
Present.
Hassan Bazzi,
Present.
Jill Mizlinski, Jim Joma, Johnny Vidanovsky,
Present.
Lisa Farens Oshansky, Sam Fadala.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda for today, October 9, 2025?
Mr. Chair, I will approve the agenda for October 9, 2025.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from September 11, 2025?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
to approve the agenda on September 11,
The minutes.
on September 11, 2025.
Any second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. So next we have comments from the public, some non-agenda items. Before we do that, I have a small statement that I'd like to say, or just clarify. Just to clarify the objective of the City Planning Commission, the primary objective of the City Planning Commission is to guide and shape the city's future physical, social, and economic development. The mission is to ensure the community's growth aligns with its long-term goals, fosters healthy activities, supports economic development, preserves resources, and reflects the needs and aspirations of the community through careful planning and public engagement. Also, to support sustainable economic development by creating quality developments and amenities that attracts businesses and residents. To empower the business community to do better and encourage businesses to invest in our city. That is how you move the city's economy forward and create alternative tax revenues to help lower taxes for residents on their homes through the lowering or capping the millage rates increases. Thank you. Now, also at this time, I'd like to welcome our interim mayor, Mr. Moby Dun, Councilwoman Breyer, and Councilman Hassan Saab. Thank you for attending this meeting. It's very important to hear your input on this and any comments that you can give us that would help. So going back to comments from members of the public on non-agenda items, anyone that has any comment on nothing, on non-agenda items, anything that's not on the agenda for today, anyone has any comments can come up and speak. Here. Okay. Please just state your name. And
How you doing? Mobe doing, Dearborn Heights. I just wanted to say thank you all for coming here. I love the civil engagement. I see that everybody here is coming together, voicing their concerns. Our trusted leaders here that are appointed to come out and make tough decisions. Your jobs aren't easy. You have to make tough decisions, and it's so much goes into the work that goes across the entire city. And being in my first day today, I think my first 20 minutes, I looked around and there were so many decisions to make, and I was just like, hang on. I picked up the phone, I called my mother, I said, hey, make some prayers, please. But the reality is, you guys are in a position to make decisions that help shape our community, but also to find out what allows revenue sources so that we can continue to offer some types of city services. I brought this up at the city council meeting the other day, was that we as a community are facing challenges. We don't have the actual financial stability to continue to strengthen our police department, to strengthen our fire department, to be able to offer the city services. We're in some parts of our Department of Public Works, our stuff is almost 25 years old. And so our city is facing heavy challenges today. And it comes to decisions like this as well. So I tell you guys, I don't want to be in your seats, but if I did, and if I was, I'd be making decisions what's best for the overall of this community. Thank you guys and good luck tonight.
Mr. Mayor, just a question, would you be still acting as the president of the
Yes,
city council?
yes.
So you still have two positions at this time?
Yeah, it's like a conflict of interest. It's
No,
like
it's
an
okay.
oxymoron, but it's there,
I just
right?
want to clarify.
I'm the legislative body and the executive body. Can you talk about a conflict of interest? It's real.
Tough one.
The good news is though, thank you. You're gonna run this today, Chairman, and you're gonna do a great job, so thank you.
I appreciate your confidence, thank you. Anyone else from the public on non-agenda item? Yes, sir, go ahead, please state your name and your street name only.
Good evening, Mo Sabo, Evangeline. I echo the sentiments of the mayor. I know it's a tough position you guys are all in. I'm just gonna generally speak. I'm not speaking about any specific projects. I'm not speaking about any agenda items. But I also have the pleasure, and I'm not speaking on behalf of the school board, but I'm a trustee of the school board, the Crestwood School Board. I would always encourage, please, any projects that are going up around the schools, that you take into consideration the children. Okay. We have schools that were built in the 60s, they were built for, they weren't built for families to drop off their kids to have the traffic jams that we have. We still have children who walk. And I am all for free enterprise. I love capitalism. I think we need a healthy business community, and I think we need development. But there are many cities in the state of Michigan that have variances or distances between certain businesses that are high volume and school buildings. Okay? I would just ask that you always consider when something comes in front of you, how does this affect our children? This is not a neighborhood. This is not my street is blocked because you put a business here that, is running off on Ford Road. This is the possibility of having a child hurt, and I would always ask that you please consider that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Chair?
Go ahead, sir.
Mr. Sabo, I got a question. And I know you sit on the board. What's the latest with the city board taking over a portion of the parking lot from Warren Valley, using that as pickup and drop off for the school?
Well, I know that it was recently completed by the city, the repaving, I believe, of the parking lot. There has been no contract that's been finalized, at least by us, on our behalf. We haven't seen anything yet, and I am the president of the school board. I know that we are moving in the right direction, but I'll go back to, that may alleviate some of the traffic on Warren Avenue because it gives us a longer runway through, but we still have a lot of kids who walk because they're not bused. The way the district is set up is if you live within a certain number of blocks, we can't offer busing, we can't find bus drivers, okay? So there's a lot of things that go into consideration in how we transport the children. And, there's a middle school close to us here. You're talking about 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So you're looking at 9 to 14-year-olds or 10 to 14-year-olds. And they don't always make the best decision. They're running to get home, and they're putting themselves sometimes in danger. So when we're around those schools, we gotta be careful, and a lot of times, even when we do, if we can complete what you're asking about, there's still gonna be cars trailing onto Ford Road. And how does that affect that corner specifically? I think it puts children in danger if we're not careful, that's all.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else from the public? Come on up, sir. Please state your name and your street name only. Thank you.
Hi, Michael Hankins, street name, West Outer Drive, Dearborn Heights, Michigan. Just a little complaint on the Dearborn Heights Police Department. I felt like I got provoked and harassed by an officer on the morning of August 27th at 1:30 a.m. I reported the incident the next day to the mayor's office, and the secretary wrote it down. What it entailed is that across the street from me, people were moving in at a little bit after 1 in the morning. I'm hearing a big diesel truck moving up and trailer doors slamming and ramps going up, and people are moving in at after 1 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. So I called the police. I stood at the door. It was a cool August night. I stood at the door and was watching this in amazement. So I called the police, and he responded by about 1:30 in the morning. And I was just in my shorts and standing by the storm door because it was a cool night. And I seen him talking to the people that were moving in, and they pointed over to me because I'm standing there watching them. And he shines his flashlight in my eyes. He goes, "Sir, did you call?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "What's the problem?" I go, "Don't you think it's kind of late for these people to be moving in? I mean, a big diesel truck idling and lights." He goes, "These are your new neighbors." I go, "Oh, they're pretty noisy." I go, Is this the protocol in Dearborn Heights to move in like this?" He says, "Sir, all you do is complain. Go back and go to sleep." I was appalled. And anyhow, yeah. But that's my complaint, and I did report it twice to the mayor's office.
Thank you, sir.
And if I don't have confidence in the Dearborn Heights Police Department, I don't know where to go to, because I felt I was getting provoked by this officer.
Thank you, sir.
I've only been the mayor for 20 minutes, so it wasn't me.
Hi, Mo.
We don't blame you. Anyone else from the public? Come on up, sir.
My name is Thomas Osborne. I live on Outer Drive between Lampier and Pasco. There's a company on the corner of Lampier and Warren that's has blocked the public alley. And when I complained to the building department, they said that they deeded the alley to this company. Now they've decided to tear up the earth that's between the sidewalk and Warren Road and put cement in it. Now, I live on Outer Drive, is also a county road. I'm not allowed to dig up the earth between the sidewalk and the street, right? And they continuously park their cars on the sidewalk. So I've talked to the building department 3 or 4 times about this, and I've called and I've talked to the Dearborn Heights Police 3 times. And I got no response. I don't expect a response, but I thought that when they go down there, they'd see if there's cars on the sidewalk. And the whole area down there is supposed to have grass between the sidewalk and the road, like on Warren towards Crestwood. But this company has, created a big long entrance, and they park on the.
Are they parking on their own property or on city property?
They're parking on the city property where they dug up the earth, the grass, and placed cement from one end, from between Costa and Lampier. It's all concrete now.
Sir, would you be able to get the address, take some pictures, go to the police department, and make a complaint and show them? Okay, that's the best way to go.
I have done that,
Yes, and
but I haven't filed a complaint.
you didn't file a claim, you didn't file a report.
The last time I went there, and police officer said they're not gonna go out there because it would just be a ticket. It happens over and over, and they don't wanna go back out there.
So I'd like to refer you to the mayor's office, but give him 2 weeks to settle in. So,
We'll talk in a little.
please.
I'm here for a zoning issue, but that's
Okay.
one of my concerns,
Thank you.
because Lampier's turned it into a company parking lot now.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Anyone else from the public on non-agenda item?
Hi, Lindsay Senya, Kennedy Street. I live right across the street from Riverside Middle School, and I've actually lived there most of my life. When I was in 5th grade, I was 9 years old. I walk across the street, across Beach Daily to get to school, and sorry, a classmate of mine who I often cross the street with got hit by a car. This was before they put in the
25-mile-per-hour signs with the hazards. And before they had crossing guards, and they still don't even have a crossing guard at that specific intersection at Kennedy and Beach. But he, you know, luckily just shattered his ankle, and you know, beyond that, he was okay. Hold on just a moment, sweetie. But I just wanted to tell the story, to have that in mind when making considerations. It's great to bring economic activity to the city, but we also have to consider the community, like was mentioned, and if the traffic infrastructure can withstand the increased economic activity. So in making considerations like that, I think it's not a simple cut and dry, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that story
Sorry
and
to hear that.
go ahead and say hi real quick. Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, there's one lady over there, I think.
I just had a question, is there somewhere I can view the agenda? I don't know what's on the agenda, because I look for it on your website, I've never been before.
The agenda is available online through the city website.
I didn't see one for today's date, it's not
It
updated.
just got posted today.
It was posted, it's required to be posted by 5 o'clock the day before. It's under the planning commission.
I got a copy for you right here if you'd like.
Got it, got an extra?
Just got one copy.
I'll look
You
at
got
it,
my copy.
I'll read it, and then I'll give it to her.
Very helpful. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I have actually, once a minute, I
Please come on up. Yes. Please state your name and the street address, street name.
my case now, so I don't have this part of the agenda, but this is regarding the new gas stations on Beach Lady.
Yeah, I have to stop you here because this is non-agenda item, so we'll move to that in a little bit.
Oh, okay,
If
so
you don't
that's
mind,
at that
yeah,
point.
you will get your
Great.
chance. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Non-agenda items?
I don't know what an agenda item is and not. There's a sign on Outer Drive saying,
This is agenda item, so we're just gonna have you
that-
sit
so
for a
that,
minute.
that
Yes,
is an
please.
agenda item.
If you don't mind, yeah. Gary, I saw it on the website. It was on there, so I don't know, maybe people are not really searching it right, so.
It was on
Thank
there
you.
this morning.
Yeah.
There was some confusion too, at least for me. I initially looked at the zoning and didn't realize it was the planning commission.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so, can we move on? Anyone else from the public on non-agenda items? Okay. Hearing none, so. Moving on. So we have the first case today, be new business, SBR 2025-0010. This is a new address on Outer Drive. I'm just gonna say the parcel number because I don't have the address. Will be 33-019-03-0061-003, reference 17400 West Outer Drive. This is a public hearing for rezoning from R1 to RM and site plan review for apartment building. I guess we'll go to Mr. Dearborn.
Mr. Chair, so I reviewed the preliminary site plan submitted by package dated September 9, 2025, prepared by Iconic Design on behalf of the applicant. So the application is proposing to complete a lot split and construct a new apartment building near the existing Riverside properties on Outer Drive north of Ford Road. Again, the request is to rezone and to split. Now, the actual rezoning is the property is currently zoned R1, which is a single-family residential district. This proposal requires zoning reclassification in addition to the standard site plan review. So the review will be, this review will address each requirement separately. I'll start with the rezoning request. As you know, the review is conducted in accordance with the 9 points which are required under section 36-523C. So every rezoning request must follow these 9 points. Point number one, will the proposed amendment be in accordance with the basic intent and purpose of the zoning ordinance? There are no multiple dwelling residential in the immediate area. Two, will the proposed amendment further the comprehensive planning goal of the city? The city's current planning goals do not include such revisions. Number three, have the conditions changed since the zoning ordinance was adopted, or was there any mistake in the zoning ordinance that justifies this amendment? This area, the answer is no, this area was never rezoned. That parcel has always been the same. Four, will the amendment correct an inequitable situation created by the zoning ordinance rather than merely grant a special privilege? The answer is the amendment does not correct any inequitable situation created by the zoning ordinance. Five, will the amendment result in unlawful exclusionary zoning? Again, the area is predominantly zoned R1, and I attached the map to show the immediate area. Number six, will this amendment set an inappropriate precedent resulting in the need to correct the future planning mistakes? Not sure about this one, but it is possible for this amendment, if approved, to set a precedent. Seven, if a rezoning is requested, is the proposed zoning consistent with the zoning classifications of the surrounding properties? Again, the surrounding properties are predominantly single-family residential. Number eight, if a rezoning is requested, could all the requirements of the proposed zoning classification be complied with on the subject parcel? I would say the answer is yes. This development will be subject to the city permit review and inspection standards. Number nine, if a rezoning is requested, is the proposed zoning consistent with the trends in the land development in the general vicinity of the property in question? Again, this is the first such request in the immediate area for an RM. Now, this will be for the rezoning portion of that request. The project site, and I have to say that ever since this application was made, I did quite extensive research on that site because there were a lot of surprises that I wasn't aware of, but you know, it is what it is. The proposed work is situated on parcel number 33-019-03-0061-003. Again, this is a residential R1 district, approximately 6.66 acres before the lot split. The proposed building site is hereby 1.18 acres. The project description, the applicant is proposing to build 22 units, two-story apartments with 42 parking spaces. Now we go into the plan review of the site. The section 36-106 requires the following minimum setbacks. The front is 25 feet, this project complies. Rear minimum is 35 feet, the project complies. Side yards, least one minimum is 20 feet. Proposals show 10 feet on the north, and the total of two should be 40 feet. 30 feet are shown, so that requires a variance. Also, section 36-109B requires that the building in the RM district that are greater than 40 feet, the minimum setback will be increased by 1 foot for every 10 feet of building length. So therefore, the required minimum setback in this case, if you look at the proposed building length, will be with 40 feet being the maximum, 358, you go through the computation, and it becomes the setback is 52 feet total. Now the plans show 10 foot on the north and 20 on the south, so that will be a variance again. Section 36-109E, residential density requires a minimum lot area as shown. 3,000 feet for every 2-bedroom units, so that'd be 3,000 times 20 units, 60,000. 4,000 square foot for every 3-bedroom units, for 2 of them would be 8,000 square feet. So the total projected requirement per our ordinance is 68,000 square foot for that site. The area we have now is 51,329, so that will be another variance. Section 36-365, which is parking, 1.5 spaces for 2 bedrooms times 20 will be 30 spaces. 2 spaces for a 3-bedroom will be 4 spaces. 20% for guests will be, so the 41 total required per ordinance, and 42 are provided, so the project complies. Now, I have to say that there are a lot of areas of concerns on this project which are, we can deal with, but they're areas of concern. The project is attempting to utilize a site that has a number of critical underground primary utilities in the area. That site, the city-owned parcel in the front, contains critical city-owned utilities. Sanitary, storm, water, to name a few.
We have that pump station in the back too.
That's not on on the city-owned parcel. The pump station in the back is on the applicant's parcel, except it does have an easement. And I have a recorded easement for that. We were able to find it. So there is a recorded easement for the pump station, the sanitary pump station. But the parcel in the front, the city-owned parcel, is the one that has all these primary utilities. So the main driveway approach from Outer Drive is utilizing the city-owned parcel, which has a 30-inch underground sanitary, as I said, and also the main water main and sanitary, and storm. So this parcel of the city's east, so this parcel, the reason it was acquired by the city from, I believe it was a church back in the early 90s, is because of the critical infrastructure. The infrastructure on that site serves the entire area east of Outer Drive, all the homes on Outer Drive, including the trailer park.
So those underground sanitary lines, they're actually on the road. They're on the easement, they're not on the gentleman's property.
They're on the city property, which is part of that driveway, which is, if you look at that thing, you show the city easement. That is the reason why the city purchased that parcel. There is a parcel of land that's shown on the documents, was purchased by the city because of all the critical infrastructure
Are
underneath.
you allowing the developer to access his property through the driveway that's owned by the city?
That's what the application is for. We haven't allowed anything.
So I mean, is that allowed by ordinance?
So I have, let me finish this, and I actually reached out to our attorney to get an opinion, and she did a real good job. I'm gonna turn it over. Just let me finish my review first. So this screen electrical, so this is about the city-owned parcel up in the front. Now we go to the part of the applicant's property in the back, what they refer to as electrical equipment is actually a pump station, sanitary pump stations that was built by the city, and it's currently fully operational. This is what left sewers, sanitary sewers, out to the interceptor, to the Wayne County interceptors. Under the new site, the landscaping, so this is on the eastern project, and it's called electrical screening equipment on page A1 under site landscaping. Again, this is a city-owned sanitary pump station, and it has a critical role in the sanitary outfall that serves the entire area. Now, this site is located, and then the last item I have, that site is located very near federally designated special flood hazard area zone. And if you look at the survey, it was done by a licensed surveyor, and he did a real good job showing that the base flood elevation, and I checked with FEMA, they are 597 feet, 597 feet as flood elevation. Now, the proposed topography on that site is 597.8 to 605. So we're running real close to 597.
Right on the edge, okay.
Again, and then that is, just a point of concern. Storm water mitigation. So if that lot split goes through, the remaining parcel to construct the apartment is 1.1 acre, which will put it over the 0.5 acres. So then the stormwater management requirement kicks in, and that's something to be also considered. So, and then this is what I have from the engineering side. Now, on the legal side, and I'm gonna have our fully capable, she did a real good job on the review. Alyssa, you have that, right? Please.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Go ahead, listen.
Just to kind of highlight a few of the things that Mr. Dibb is referring to in terms of legally speaking. The proposed lot split,
from our view and in speaking with Mr. Dibb, would not include a means of access, meaning it would essentially be landlocked, because it is our understanding that the proposed means of ingress and egress right now would be a driveway on the city-owned parcel to the south of it. Put simply, you really can't build on someone else's property without some sort of legal interest in that. At this juncture, I do not believe that there is any sort of legal interest to have anything built on city property, whether that be a driveway or anything like that. So there is obviously a concern in terms of some of the proposed developments being on property that is not actually within this site, that the applicant has a legal
So
interest.
how would the applicant access his property then?
I don't know, that would.
Would you allow another curb cut on?
So that would essentially be up to the applicant to try to figure out how to remedy that.
Would the county, is that county road, right?
Before the lot split or after the lot split? See, currently, the lot,
After.
okay, so first you have to consider the lot split and then the lot rezoning. So currently, there's no issue with access because it is one parcel, right? There's no issues. If you allow the lot split, then you've got access because then that's a separate lot. And the attorney brought up something really interesting because the area is R1 and you have a trailer complex in that area, right? It's not allowed in R1. So if you actually proceed with rezoning first, then since it's only one parcel, the entire thing become an RM, right? If you rezone it. If you do that at first, then the entire thing becomes an RM, which does not allow for.
So let me ask you, is the application for split first or to rezone the whole
So
entire
the way
thing?
I understand that, and I checked with the assessor first, she didn't process and I talked to the owner, so she didn't process the split.
Okay.
Pending this, so she wanted to find out if this is allowed, because if you go with a lot split, then you've got this issue with access, you also have a compliant, is it compliant use, non-compliant use? What about the RM? Are you gonna allow RM and R1? This is the kind of stuff, so there is no, it didn't split the lot is not split.
So assuming we go with the split and we just leave the trailer park alone, because it's a non-conforming RM, okay? We just do the split. The city will not allow him to access his property from your driveway that's owned by city.
It's not a driveway, it's a parcel, it's a parcel.
Yeah.
So the way we discussed it, and again, we're trying to find a solution. The site is owned by the city because of the infrastructure. I'm not suggesting this, but it is, you can purchase, you can have an agreement, you can, I mean.
That was my next question. I mean,
I don't sell city
if the
property, but it
developer
is
buys the
possible.
parcel from the city, and this way he'll take out some of the maintenance and maintain it and gives us access all the way to the pumping station in the back.
That's one solution. That's one solution.
I think that's the best solution. Otherwise, it's gonna be landlocked, like Alyssa mentioned,
Right.
and
So
and
that's
if you
the
don't
legal
allow another
side.
curb cut on our drive, how are
I
you gonna
agree.
do that?
That's the legal side. So if that's the case, so that will solve the density, remember all the stuff I mentioned, the density, the setback, that will solve it, but it's currently not owned by the applicant, it's owned by the city. So I'm looking at parcels, right? So that's one solution. Now, of course, if that is to be sold, my recommendation will be to maintain easement because you really wanna maintain sanitary, storm and water and all that good stuff that's in there.
So I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So aren't all or most ingresses and egresses on city property? Because the city
If
technically
you have
owns.
a platted roadway, yes. If you have, let's take Ford Road,
Yeah.
a platted roadway, yeah, this is not a platted road.
Parcel.
That's a parcel of land that was purchased for intended purpose. I'm not against it, all I'm saying is, these are the facts, and if you look at what the remaining size of that portion, if you do lot split, and you take that small parcel and say, now I need to rezone it, right? Then you will be facing all these issues, like, the RM, is it large enough to do what you wanted to get done? My professional opinion is, if you were to purchase that parcel, combine them, and now you have a large parcel to do what you want done, and we will put an easement requirements on the city parcel when you sell it, and put it on the title, that it has easement, then
Okay,
that's
we're
a
gonna come
solution.
back to you. I think, Mr. Bazin, you have a question? Go ahead. Okay, we'd like to hear from the developer or representative. Yeah.
Good evening, Mona
State your name.
Mona Hamoud, 17 West Lane Court, Dearborn. I am the designer who's working with Mr. Baydun on his site plan.
Thank you, Mona. Go ahead, you may proceed.
Good evening, Zach Baydoun, the owner of the subject property.
Thank you.
Can I respond to Mr. Deep's
You can do whatever
comments?
you want. You have 20 minutes. We just wanna try to get
Okay,
as much
I'll
information
try to
as
rush it.
possible to help.
So,
the situation.
I'm just gonna itemize like one item at a time, just trying to answer. So, we understand that we have issues on the site and this is our first step. We are here just trying to get your blessing for the project, but we know we have to address all the other issues. Regarding the setbacks, it's just the nature of the site. It has a very narrow, frontage on Otter Drive and it goes the length of the, all the way to the back. So whether we try to put an apartment building or mobile homes or trailer homes, it's just gonna run along the depth of the property. And this apartment building is kind of like a condo style apartment building where, every 2 apartments on the second floor, they're separated. So we have a staircase that serves 2 apartments on the second floor and it just repeats itself. So it's not like we have a long corridor that serves all the
So
apartments.
each one, they're like townhouses attached?
Sort of, it's very
Okay, so
similar to a
there's
townhouse.
no hallway on top?
There's no hallway,
Oh,
it's just
okay.
2 apartments separated and it just repeats
Okay, that's
itself.
good.
And so they connect to each other, obviously they're attached, and that's why we have the issue with the setbacks. But we tried, to remedy that, so we created a screening wall in the back. So the back of the apartment is actually towards the trailer homes and vice versa. So we're gonna add a screening wall with evergreen trees between the 2. And I don't think it's gonna impact whether we have 20 units, 10 units, or 40 units, it's just gonna be the same thing. And that actually answer also the density. It's a unique site surrounded by trees. Yes, there is R1 on the south of it, but there is a division, there's some sort of a small forest between the 2. So it's very private. And then on the north, we have the use of an RM, but it's also zoned residential, it's grandfathered in. So it's very private, unique site. And I don't think whether we have a smaller or a higher density is gonna impact anybody around.
The problem, Mona, with this thing is you're gonna need variances because
Yes,
it's
no, of
setback.
course, I understand that.
So the more
Alright.
density you have, I had a discussion with Mr. Turfy earlier about this, and the more density you have, you had a question about the overlay.
You know, no, my question actually, Mr. Deep, could you give us an explanation on setback and what are setbacks for and why do we put them in the ordinance?
Again, this is for the architect, and I follow what you're saying, and I'm with you, but I can only review what you submitted, and when I'm looking at the apartment, the length of the apartment building, this is one continuous, and so I have to follow what the book says,
No, I
over 40 feet.
understand, I know that.
Over 40 feet.
And I know
This
the
is
rules, and I
and
review them.
that's not my interpretation, I'm following that ordinance, and I know you
No, I understand, and I know we don't follow the rule, but I'm trying to give you an explanation of why we did what
I'm
we did.
with you. So when I point out variances are required, that's not saying no, it's saying that you need to apply for variance, right?
Of course.
So, and they may be granted, right? I mean, if you have a good case to present, they will be granted, but these are concerns. And the reason for that is because when you have 400 or 358, I believe, feet long, one continuous building, that is over the 40-foot minimum. The idea behind that is, and I didn't write that book, I'm just following it, right? So it's just setback, so when you have some monstrous thing, you don't want it right up in the front, right? So I mean, there's a distance requirement from the nearest available. And again, we're treating this as a lot already split, which we haven't done a lot split, right?
Yes.
So I mean, it is still one big parcel. Currently, it's one big parcel, and it's R1 parcel.
So you're asking 52
I'm not
foot
asking,
setback?
I'm just
I mean,
saying that's what the requirement.
That's the requirement is 52 foot setback?
And it looks like they got what, 20?
Got 10?
No, they have,
We have 10, we have 20 feet between the two buildings.
To be honest with you, me personally, I can look past the setback because of the position and where this property is being
Yes.
developed, and basically surrounded by trees. So there's really no neighbors.
It's a buffer zone.
It's a buffer zone to the county-owned property.
no.
No, the south side, there's the creek and there's the homes after that. So this creates the buffer zone between the trailer park and the homes on the other side. So it's,
I think the gentleman owns its trailer parks, right?
yeah, he does. I know that. Okay.
So, can I keep going?
Yes, you may, I
I
just
stopped
want.
your clock.
Yeah, he stopped the clock, so.
Okay, good. I thought you were still running.
No, just go ahead.
So regarding underground utilities, we know that there are underground utilities on the easement, and that's why we were proposing to maintain that access from Outer Drive to the electrical or the sanitary pump all the way to the back. And I believe Mr. Baidoon granted the city an easement because part of, when you come from Outer Drive to get all the way to the equipment in the back, you actually pass through the Mr. Baidoon's lot because it's not a straight rectangular, it goes on a sort of like an L shape. So he provided the city with an easement. So all we're proposing is to use the same easement that the city uses, something similar like an alley. Like sometimes we have buildings that are, they have parking in the back of the building, but you access that from the alley. And this is kind of similar to that. We're using city access roads, easement, to access the parking, but we're not really building anything on the easement.
Again.
But Mr. Baidoon is also proposing to maintain that easement. We have new landscaping on it. It's gonna be nice, so I believe it's a win-win situation. And I know we have to go through the legal matters.
Just for the record, though, the easement was 1978. It wasn't recent. I mean, I checked, and the easement was actually executed in 1978. It's fully executed, so I have a copy of it. It's not, I'm not arguing against that. I think it's a great proposal. It just needs to be a facility.
Right.
You need to incorporate it, right?
Of course.
I mean, the parcel itself, the city-owned parcel and the area behind it where the easement exists are continuous and they're actually being used today. I know that because I just drove 3 times last week.
Yeah.
So it does exist. I'm not against the proposal. Again, it just needs to be.
How big the area that the city owns, city?
Here, I have, and I this is the city-owned parcel.
Can you turn that here too?
I have a larger site plan.
But yeah, so this is where the legal, I mean, and then the pump house is in.
Council, I got a question. Why can't the city legally give them access on the city-owned property?
They can, there's just nothing currently in place, Commissioner. So essentially what an example to give would be if you put your driveway on your next door neighbor's property to use to get to your house, and perhaps maybe later they gave you an easement or something to use it. Great, but you can't just put your access to your house on your next door neighbor's property and then ask for something. So there's a parcel, yes, there's equipment on their current parcel in the back portion of it. The city was given an easement to access that equipment, is my understanding. What I'm discussing is there is a almost acre parcel just south of the proposed apartment building that is owned by the city. And what the current proposal looks to do is to construct a means of access on the actual city property, not in conjunction with the easement that was granted to the city. It's actually on the city property. So it's essentially without a legal interest to construct something or go on the city property, you can't use someone else's site.
Sure.
Can the city decide to do that if the city council wishes to, offer it for sale, if they wish to provide an easement, things of that nature? Sure, but that's just not in place at the moment, is essentially what I'm saying.
Thank you.
If that makes things clear.
I wanna go ahead and proceed, please.
Yeah, I mean, we understand that we still have to go in front of the zoning board of appeal, we still have to go in front of the city council, and we might have to work with the legal department in order to solve these issues. But I guess this is our first step here, just to get your blessing on the site plan, and then we'll tackle all the other issues later. But just to keep answering your concerns, regarding the flood zone, we did hire a surveyor. He indicated an approximate flood zone. So right now, we only have a conceptual site plan. We don't really have a plot plan. We didn't do a grading plan. And we are planning, before we do any construction documents, to actually hire somebody who will pinpoint exactly where these lines are. Because we don't want to build on a flood zone. So this is something that we know. But this is kind of like the first plan that we present to you.
The point I was trying to make again, is to bring up that you are 597.8 versus 597, so you're pretty close. So the idea is it's much easier to do any modifications when you're in the design phase as opposed to,
Yes.
so I'm trying to be on your side actually.
And then obviously, this is gonna be, we're gonna have a few meetings here with the city. We're gonna submit for a building, for the building department. All the different departments are gonna review the plans. We are gonna meet all the requirements. We're already contacted Wayne County because we know we have to deal with Wayne County as well. So all this is gonna be submitted, and we're gonna abide by the requirements when we work on the construction documents.
Okay, when you say Wayne County, storm or sanitary?
Storm.
Storm?
Yeah.
Okay.
So either way, the city will always have an access to the underground in the case, right? I mean, there's nothing's gonna be built above that piece of property.
So no, the city has no plan that I know of to build anything on that.
No,
site.
not the city, yeah.
If that parcel is sold for development or an agreement is made, the city's access will have to be preserved. So there will be a grant easement to the city. And just for the record, there are some issues with that pump house in the back. You probably know by now, the county's been on site multiple times because I'm also reviewing the capacity of that pump station because it's old. And there are some issues with that. So and I know if you build that apartment, you're going to tie into it because that's the 30-inch that comes out of it. So before the city approves that tie-in, I need to get basis of design, compare it, make sure that we have the capacity to tie into it, because that line actually goes under the river and it's really restricted. It goes much smaller than the 30-inch. It starts with a 30, goes into the pump, and then it goes down under to Wayne County Interceptor as an 18-incher. And now we're having issues with it, so they're gonna put a sleeve which will reduce it. So I need to look at these numbers before you guys add 22 or 24 apartments, and so these are the concerns that we.
I think I'll handle it. You have 30 inches. That's huge. So it
Goes down to 14.
14 down to 14. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not the 30-inch that I'm worried about.
It's the slope.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I think regarding the zoning of the site, I mean, it's already used as a multifamily, as it is right now, so we're not really coming with a new concept. We can, if we wanted to, add mobile homes, not be here, because it's used as such, without, when I'm talking like as one lot. We are proposing something, it's kind of like between the RM and the R1, and it's kind of like a graduation shift to the residential. But yeah, I mean, I understand it's like near a residential, but it's a private site. You don't see much of it from Outer Drive. You don't see much of it from anywhere. So it's actually a really nice, unique site. I mean, it's gonna be a beautiful apartment building. Did you wanna add anything?
Are we through?
Go ahead. Yeah. No, you're good.
So, good evening, council members, mayor, planning commission members, city employees and neighbors. My name is Zach Baydoun. I, along with my father, own Riverside Properties Mobile Home Park and are also the applicants for this proposed apartment development. Together, we have a combined 70 years of experience in the real estate and rental business and currently own and manage over 250 residential units. I understand that change can raise concerns, but I believe that this project offers significant benefits to the city, which I'll explain. Dearborn Heights and Metro Detroit as a whole is facing a shortage of quality housing. New multifamily apartments provide housing options for young professionals, seniors, and families who cannot afford or do not want to live in single-family homes. This project will retain local residents, attract new families, and prevent population decline. The site is directly on Outer Drive with direct access to Ford Road, Hines Drive, and Ann Arbor Trail, meaning traffic on residential streets will be minimal. Professional traffic studies can demonstrate that Outer Drive is built to higher traffic volume compared to neighborhood streets. Well-designed apartments, especially with modern landscaping, fencing, lighting, and parking, actually raise nearby property values by improving the appearance of the corridor. Unlike absentee landlords with scattered rental homes, a single professionally managed apartment community ensures consistent upkeep, maintenance, and security. This project will serve as a buffer between the mobile home park and the single-family homes, improving the transition of land use. The complex will bring in new tax revenue to Dearborn Heights, helping fund schools, parks, and city services. Construction will create local jobs. Long-term, new residents will support nearby businesses, restaurants, and shops. Apartments attract diverse residents like teachers, nurses, and city workers, who all want to live in the community they serve. A modern apartment complex with controlled access, lighting, and management actually reduces crime risks compared to vacant lots in poorly maintained properties. New development discourages illegal dumping, loitering, and blight that empty lots attract. Adding more eyes on the street actually improves public safety and community engagement. Outer Drive is already a major arterial road with commercial and high-density uses nearby. Adding apartments here is consistent with urban planning best practices. Higher density on main roads, single-family homes deeper into neighborhoods. Other cities in Michigan, like Birmingham and Ann Arbor, have successfully used this model to balance growth while protecting neighborhood character. This project isn't just about building apartments, it's about meeting Dearborn Heights' real housing needs, boosting our local economy, and investing in the future of our community. With thoughtful design, professional management, and community output, these apartments will add value, improve safety and aesthetics, and provide much-needed housing without overwhelming local streets or lowering property values. I respectfully ask the Planning Commission to approve this rezoning for the benefit of all residents. Thank you.
Thank you. One question, Mona, how many square foot is this?
The entire building?
Yeah. Let's see.
The property is 51,329. The building is gonna be
About 22,000 square foot roughly.
The building coverage is 14,400.
and the property in total is 51,000.
51, yeah, it's 1.18 acres.
To me, it sounds like maybe you guys should have went and tried to get an easement to enter on the city property first before coming before the planning commission. It sounds like that's your number one obstacle. Does that sound correct, Mr. Deep?
To solve the setback and the density, yes, or purchase the property, or, you know.
So we did discuss this with the city official, and that was kind of like the recommendation, so we were just following what we were advised to do.
Overall, as a planning commission member, I like the project. I like, you guys are solving the need. You guys are bringing homes to the city of Dearborn Heights where there's definitely a shortage of homes. I personally like what you guys are doing. I don't got a problem with any of it. But I think if you go in front of the city first and try to possibly purchase that road, that'll solve a lot of your problems. It'll solve the density issue that you guys have. It'll solve the ingress egress issue that you have. Obviously, you would have to give the city easements on that parcel when purchased. You can't just purchase it and start building on it because of the reasons, the underground sewage. But I think that'll solve all your problems. If you just go and attempt in front of city council, whatever roads you gotta take to try to purchase that, and that's not that, that's very possible.
Yeah, that was the plan, to do so.
And then if you do that, I think all these variances won't even matter.
So I discussed that, I believe, with this gentleman, and the request, so part of why the assessor didn't agree to the lot split is for many reasons, that's one of them. But if you do the lot, if you purchase, let's, for a second, again, I'm not suggesting, I can't tell you what to do, but if you purchase that property with a, you know, restriction, so we have, you know, access, and then you do the lot split, the small lot can be combined with this, and now you have a large lot that you can do, so a lot split and a combined. So the small lot, then you can combine it with a new lot, and then now you have a parcel large enough to do what you wanted to get done. I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but that would be, if I was doing that, that's how I would do it.
Okay,
I agree.
Answer what you just said.
Please, would you come up to the podium, please? Please state your name for the record only. Thank you. Yes, he's actually the owner.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Abdul Beydoun, his dad is the owner. I remember we spoke.
Yes, sir.
And I went to the assessor's office and got the parcel number and went and got an application to fill out to purchase.
Okay.
The mayor's, what's her name?
His assistant.
Chief
Assistant,
yeah,
she
she
said,
told
we're
me.
not selling anything and we're not doing anything. So
Okay.
she denied us anything.
When was
So that's
that?
why we
She
kept
doesn't
going.
have the authority to deny sale.
But she said we're not, so I mean, what do you expect us to do? We kept going with the project. Now, I would like you two guys to approve it, and then we'll go from there.
Well, it's very difficult to approve a site without ingress egress, right?
What do you think? They're making it sound in the parcel that he's talking about, it's not what you know, make it sound like. It's not what you think it is.
One question, Zach, is that the Dearborn schools?
Yes.
Okay, what I like about this project is, I just went off and calculated the SEV and the taxable value based on the square footage and the cost of construction for this. What I like first about this project that creates, residency in the city of Dearborn Heights, brings more residents in. And also the tax revenue, and this is for the record, Moby, so I can notice this, $86,032, it's a first year taxable value on this thing, taxable revenue.
Say that number again?
$86,032, that will be the first year tax revenue on this
How
project.
did you come up with that?
Yeah, that's before it's being completed, as long as the windows are up, Mr. Saab knows what I'm talking about. So, this is the first thing. The second, I would love to see the whole parcel being rezoned to RM, and Mr. Dib will agree with me. Now, nothing against mobile homes, but eventually these homes, they're gonna be getting older and older, and they might wanna build on that property. But since you didn't approach it this way, you're approaching it as this parcel by itself, you wanna rezone it, then you wanna do the split later. I think the best way to do this is follow Mr. Deep's recommendation, and we'll deal with the rest of the issues as far as the access point and the driveway and the easements, all that. You asked us to recommend approval of rezoning this to the city council. That's all we can do today, either recommend approval or recommend denial. Now, as far as the site plan, I don't think we're ready for that. This is gonna have to come back later because we can't look at a site plan of something that's not even rezoned, okay? So, after we're done with this conversation, if nothing else, I would like to open a public hearing so we can, you know, get going on this, if you don't mind. All right. Anything else to make sure?
Mr. Chair, I would open this public hearing.
I'd like to open the public hearing at this time. Anyone from the public will have any comments?
If I could, just one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
We could have eliminated a whole row of mobile homes and left 20 of my tenants homeless.
No, that's not what I said.
Well, I understand that, but we chose to, we knew we were short on some of these obstacles as far as the setback and whatnot. And we approached it this way. We didn't want to displace any residents who lived there. And, you know, we felt that this was the best way forward by splitting the lots in two and leaving the mobile home operations separate from what's going on this side. So I just wanted to point that out as well.
Okay, thank you. Again, we did open a public hearing, so,
Public hearing is open. Anyone from the public that has any comments on, please come up to the podium.
Christopher Curry, 1 West Lane. I'm not for or against the project. I just don't understand, there's conversation about city-owned property. You can't just sell a property to a developer. Doesn't the city-owned property have to go out for RFP, Mr. D?
That's actually not a question for us. We're not, we don't have the authority
You're
to
talking
answer
about a
this.
development.
You probably
that
have to
the
have
property
the
that has-
city attorney on that, if you don't mind.
I'm just making a comment. This is, you're talking to a developer and offering a property owned by the city, which is really owned by the residents.
I know, but nobody's offering them property.
But the concept that they brought to you incorporates city-owned property. The only way they can acquire it is by that being offered to everybody in the city, so it goes out to an RFP. I just want to make that comment. I have nothing to do with the project.
Thank you. Anyone from the public? Please come on up. Please state your name and your street name.
My name is Thomas Osborne. I live on Outer Drive between Hanover Trail and Ward. Kind of the follow-up on his, we're talking about city property, right? Has the property been offered for sale to everybody in the city? I mean, I guess it's through sealed bids. Is that how they do that?
We have no knowledge of that.
All right, just for clarification, that if it is a city-owned property that's an open lot, it would be offered to those who it's adjacent by first. So if it's anybody to the left or anybody to the right would have the first right of refusal. And then if that person chooses not to take it, it would go out to a bid process where people can bid to buy it, sent to the city clerk's office in a sealed envelope.
So the mobile home court would have the first offering. The offer.
So the owner of the mobile home and the owner of that lot would be the decision factor first, and whoever bids the highest, but it seems like he owns both sides. So he would be the first right of refusal.
Okay, I just got 3 questions. I wrote them down so I could forget. Now, I kind of dispute your diagram here. A 2-bedroom apartment must have 2 parking places. And that's, for instance, if a family, mom and dad and kids, mom and dad would live in one room, and the kids would live in the other. Well, if mom and dad works, they both gotta have cars. And my daughters have huge pickup trucks, and that would mean you'd have to have very large parking spaces. Now, what happens if grandma wants to come by and visit her grandkids? Where's she gonna park? I mean, you're gonna make her walk all the way down to the parking lot for overflow? Or, I mean, what I'm saying is, shouldn't there be like 3 spaces for every 2-bedroom apartment? No, that's, okay. Now I don't know what kind of entrance road that you had, but the entrance road must be wide enough for emergency vehicles. They must be able to turn around at the end of the road. Will EMS vehicles have to wait for traffic to clear before taking you to the hospital? And how would a fire truck turn around? I mean, doesn't that road, I mean, it's not a one-way, right? It's gotta be 2 ways. And wouldn't there have to be some kind of turnaround at the end of the road so that the emergency vehicles wouldn't have to back up, right? Okay. Now the other one is, if the zoning passes, I own a vacant lot I have 3 lots, my house is on 2, and I own a vacant lot. Is it possible for me to change my vacant lot to your multiple family so that I could put an apartment there? I mean, maybe that's not, mine's a 40-foot wide lot that's separately taxed. Okay, that's all I have.
All right, thank you, sir.
Would you?
Anyone else?
Would you like to?
Yeah, I can.
We have it in the minutes. She's recording everything. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, sir. Please state your name and your street name.
Dan Harvey, Outer Drive. I just want to say that the multifamily residential is not compatible with single-family residential. The neighborhood values, I would say would go down. So it's not going to enhance it by any means. There's a reason, people buying a single-family residential area that's zoned that way. They don't want to be in multifamily. All right, the multifamily is not compatible with the the Rouge River and the Hines Park ecosystem. There's a lot of deer, wildlife. Hines Drive is a beautiful area. You get a lot of bikers, you get a lot of joggers, a lot of nature enthusiasts in that area. They go up and down Outer Drive all the time during the summer as far as biking. The apartments will increase traffic on an already busy Outer Drive. You know, there are times it just gets really nasty there. You certainly don't need more cars going in and out of this new development. There's always a concern with apartments bringing transient people and crime. You know, I'm sure if you check with the police, and whether it's Dearborn Heights or anywhere in the vicinity, the crime rate is far higher in those areas. The sewer system is certainly a big issue. You always talk about 500-year storms, but these 500-year storms seem to come every 5 years these days. So I'd be very concerned, you know, that you put this development in there, and in no time at all you get one of those 500-year storms, and before you know it, people's basements are flooded. Nobody wants that. There's already many apartments that already exist in Dearborn by Fairlane Town Center, and there's also been talk by the city of Dearborn trying to actually convert a lot of the Hyatt Regency and the Fairlane Town Center to you know, apartment units. You know, there's no need to try to do this in an area that's already zoned single-family residential. But anyhow, I'm against it, as you can tell. There's a lot of nice homes on Outer Drive there. Putting something like this in there, it's certainly not going to be a plus. If it was going to be like Birmingham, well, Birmingham's a very quaint, very nice area, but they don't just pop them in these little spot zones. They have, you know, Birmingham is a very, very well orchestrated planning development, if you notice. Very, very nice urban area.
Fair enough, thank you.
So I got a question for you. What would you like to see there?
Right now?
Vacant land owned by the developer.
Well, right now,
I'm just curious to know your thoughts.
I guess my position is it'd be better off just leaving it as is, or go with single-family homes, nice single-family homes.
Yeah, let me ask you something. Do you know how much a 3,000 square foot home will cost to build in today's market? It's $700,000 plus the land. Do you know anyone that would go and build a $700,000 home next to a trailer park? With all due respect, I mean, that's housing.
Well, I bet you
don't
if
see
you
it
put it up, I
happening.
bet you people would buy it.
I don't
bet
see
you
it
they would.
happening. Yeah,
It's a very nice area. There's all kinds of beautiful homes across the street.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your input. Thank you so much. All right, anyone else? Please, come on up. Please state your name,
Good evening.
street name.
My street is West Outer Drive.
Okay, thank you.
I live at.
What's your name again?
My name is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth? what?
Elizabeth Smith.
Thank you.
Okay, I happen to live at Riverside Properties.
Oh,
Okay, I am an animal lover. I'm into the ecosystem and all that, okay? Besides myself, there are residents in that park that feed the deer and feed the squirrels and the birds. So I don't see a problem with, these gentlemen building this apartment building in that spot that they're wanting to build it at. And I've been living at that park for 11 going on 12 years. So I'm for it. I'm all for it. So, I mean, like I said, I've been a resident there for 11 coming up on 12 years.
You live in a villa park.
I told them that, Sam. I live at Riverside Property, so, and I know these gentlemen very well.
Thank you.
And that's all I want to say.
Thank you. Appreciate your input. Anyone else from the public? Please come on up. Please state your name and your street name.
Deborah Osborne, West Outer Drive, Mr. Osborne. We've been there 42 years. We've enjoyed living in our house for 42 years, and when they leveled the property there, we got influx of deer, skunk, possum, you name it. It's in my backyard because they have had to relocate from all that forest being put down. We are a unique neighborhood. We're located between Rouge Park and Hines Drive. And we get lots of wildlife through there. It's inevitable. We've had people that have had their fireplaces inhabited by coon families. It just, taking more of the forest away there. Now we've got 10 deer coming through our yard in the winter, and they're on our streets. We have buck crossings at the Rouge River. There'll be buck and deer. It's beautiful, but it is also dangerous. What can I say? The trailer park has been a good place of homes for people that need the trailer park, but it's also been a bit negative for the people in the neighborhood because of the transient population that goes in and out. It just comes with apartments, it comes with trailers, it is the way it is. Our crime rate definitely has, we've all had situations where our homes get broke into, even with security, it doesn't matter. And would this cause us even more of a problem if there were more transient people in and out instead of single-family homes like we have now? We have lived there 42 years and loved every bit of it. I worked for the school district for 20 years. River Oaks is a wonderful little elementary school that's up on the side of the road on Ann Arbor Trail. And it is popping at the seams already. They just renovated it. And I'm wondering if this would hinder the school, make it a little worse for the school again, because I don't know where the kids would go to school. And the traffic, the last thing is traffic. Because there at Ann Arbor Trail and Hines Drive, at one time of the day, you don't turn. So, I mean, it is a very difficult traffic situation as it is, and I wondered where people would go in and out with their cars.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate your input. Anyone else from the public? Please come on up, sir. You were here earlier, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Please state your name and your street name.
Good evening, Brian Wheeler, Burger.
Thank you.
Just a couple quick comments. In Dearborn Heights, a residential property owner has to get approval before they move a tree on the property. And I was just really amazed when we're talking about an apartment complex going up here. How is that granted? That the complex isn't even, a given, yet they got approval to clear cut the land as though it's gonna go in there. And I thought that was sort of strange on how that happened.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but to answer your question, from my understanding, I think that was actually the county that did that to get access to the sub pump back there. That's where the cleaning up happened.
They cleared that entire area?
Correct.
So they could get access? Well, they've had access to that area for decades.
That's a question for Mr. Dearborn.
It's not access to the, I'm sorry, it's not to the pump house. I mentioned earlier, there are issues with the sanitary outfall down at the river side, which is Wayne County interceptors. The county has 3 parallel interceptors. That's the main county drain. And they're currently working on a solution. One of them, the outlet of this pump station, the sanitary, has some issues under the river. So the county, in order to fix it, the county has, that's the county drain commission, not the city of Dearborn Heights, needs to go to that back and actually reline the pipe under the river. That's heavy duty work that requires access with heavy equipment. That was the phase 1, the way I understand it, from the county. That was phase 1, to try to clear a path to get the equipment down to the river, to the first interceptor. So it's not the city, it was a county, and they did it under the easement right to access the river, the interceptor, to fix it.
Thank you, Mr. Dearborn.
In the past few years, the U.S. government has really been pushing to put apartment complexes into residential areas. I think this is a bad idea. Once you start doing it, it's so much easier to start putting other apartment complexes in. I just don't think it's a good idea. It's been zoned residential for decades, and there's always, yeah, of course, someone's got a good reason they want to put something in there, but I don't think it's a good idea.
Thank you, sir.
Has the police department been, are they in on decisions like this, or are they contacted, opinions, where they think?
I don't think they have anything to do with this. This goes through.
No, I mean, just as opinions, you know, what do you think about this?
Mr. The police department has any.
To my knowledge, they're not part
Well,
of this.
sir, I'm talking about crime. I shouldn't have to tell you that.
I haven't replied yet. I'm just asking, I'm answering what the process is. At this point, no. And
Okay,
earlier.
that's all I want to know. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You still have 60 seconds if you want.
Anyone else from the public? Oh, lady over there. You already came up, sir, right?
Yes.
One time?
Yeah. Okay.
On this subject?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. Time's
Okay.
up. I'm sorry. Thank you. Go ahead, ma'am, please. Your name and your street name.
Sally Petrella, Rouge River Drive, and I also work full-time for Friends of the Rouge, so, you know, I live on Rouge River Drive because I love that river, and that river just adds so much value to this community. We, Friends of the Rouge, was notified about this by a concerned neighbor, and so I really want to speak on questions on behalf of the river. The footprint of this development would be 14,000 square feet. So that's that much added impervious surfaces, i.e. roof, cement. So how would that then be compensated for? Because it's that much more stormwater that would be going into the river. And there also is the Wayne County, Mr. Deeb's very well aware of the Wayne County stormwater ordinance that you would be required to compensate for that. So is there room on the property to put in the required basins? Is that part of the plan? I'm sorry.
To the commission,
I'm sorry.
please. Thank you. So to answer your question, I'm going to refer back to Mr. Deep because that's his profession.
So two comments. One, it's not just the building of the building footprint, it's the entire site. So when you do impervious, and I'm sure you're aware of that, it's pavement. It's anything that is impervious. And when I said earlier, anything over half acres, the county of the city of Dearborn Heights adopted the Wayne County stormwater management, which then requires either open, as you know, or underground. So when we say that, we enforces it because we have to. We are part of the Wayne County Stormwater Management. So I'm sure the designer is fully aware, and she acknowledged that this will be a condition, assuming the site is approved and it goes to construction. There will be conditions, and this is one of them.
Okay, thank you. And then there also is a stream that goes beside it, and would that be considered also?
So when I walked the last, so there, I saw that the surveyor's mark, and I don't believe that stream is in that, but I could be mistaken. The survey, it's not in the footprint, no.
But it would be affected by the?
This will be looked at as part of the stormwater management if it is affected, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then, will trees be removed for the, I mean, I understood that the trees were removed earlier, that had nothing to do with this particular project, it had to do with the infrastructure, but will be additional trees removed for this?
For this project, no, but for the county portion, there may be, because the interceptor work hasn't started yet. So when they remove the trees to provide access, they also put stone to allow for equipment to drive in without getting stuck. The actual repairs, which is relining of the sanitary, hasn't been completed. It's being worked on now by consultants, so may or may not have additional trees removed. We don't know yet.
Okay, and then just two other things. Am I understanding that okay.
Go ahead, go
We'll
ahead.
give you 15 seconds, go ahead.
Okay, the trailer park is actually more than single families, but it's not actually zoned that. So
Yeah,
there's.
that is grandfathered in, so
Oh,
it
it's
was-
grandfathered
yeah,
in?
yeah.
And then my last question is, you know, I value living here because it's a diverse community. Will this be affordable housing?
I'm not sure I'm not sure how to answer that because we don't know, you know.
No, you
It
don't
could
have
be-
those plans yet.
I heard a conversation that this can be converted to condo units and might be sold separately to create just single family, like home properties instead of being rented out, so there's a possibility. What we're doing here, we're trying to see if we can recommend an approval or not approval to city council. So that's all we do about this project here. So we don't know what's gonna happen in the future. She's gonna have to come back with a new design but you'll have your chance back then? Will she have a chance to come back and ask a question? If they come back for a site plan review, would it be a public hearing?
There's no public hearing for a site plan review, but obviously the recommendation would go, in terms of the rezoning specifically, would go up to city council. And I believe they hold a public hearing there, but I think that's up to them.
So when it goes to city council, public don't get a notice, right, on that?
I can't speak on the city council procedures, I'm not sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
I appreciate your careful consideration on this.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Go ahead.
Please state your name and your street name.
Hi, I'm Wayne Beeson. I work at the church on Honor Drive directly across from Riverside Properties, so across the peninsula. I can't speak to many of the other concerns. Sally actually was the person I would talk to about the ecological concerns, so I'm glad you're here, Sally. I just wanted to mention language about transient people and potential crime. It's troubling to me, especially if it's being taken into consideration for this. Without data to support increased crime related to this, we're working from assumptions based on, well, I'll just leave it as assumptions. This is language that has a long history in our community, going back to the founding of Dearborn Heights, and has been used in the past to support segregation-based zoning and housing planning. So I want to ensure that that's not being given strong consideration in this, especially since everything that has been said about potential neighbors that we will share our space with is also true of our current neighbors living in Riverside Properties right now. So when we say these things, we are saying them about our current neighbors as well. People that, as someone who's been at this church for 12 years, we've come to love and value. So I just wanted to address that. There may be many other concerns. Don't want to give too much space to that particular concern, if that makes sense.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Anyone else? So you came up on this project before?
No, new agenda.
Okay, go ahead. All right. Please state your name and your street name.
Michael Hankins, West Outer Drive. I live at Riverside Properties. The gentleman that just talked at the church, I don't know what that side street is there that runs along there, but we have an issue of gaining entrance into Riverside Properties when we're traveling southbound on Outer Drive headed towards Ford Road, and you gotta get in the left turn lane to make a left into Riverside Properties, and then the people that are trying to turn into the subdivision, they're in the left lane, and we're on a collision course already right there, and it's very dangerous. So whether this new complex is gonna have its own entrance and exit, I think, and with the church there and the traffic backing up from 3 to 4 o'clock every day, I think it's gonna be, it's dangerous already. I don't know if there should be a light there, like down the street at St. Anselm, you know, something blinking or something, because, a lot of times I just turn up, into the exit to avoid that oncoming traffic that people are coming from each way in the left-hand turn lane, I don't know. And, with, more people, you know, I think it could be an issue. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. There's no one else, okay, okay, come on up, sir. State your name and your street name.
Michael Vargas, West Outer Drive. I just want to say I'm with the program 100%, and I think it'll do good for the city. And I live in a trailer park myself, so I guess I'm part of the crime they're talking about. I'm not sure, but I've never been in trouble in my life. But it's a good neighborhood, it's quiet, and I love living there.
Thank you, sir. There's no one else? Anyone else from the public? Okay, come on up, please.
Yeah, my name is Ralph Goodman.
Please, if you can speak at the microphone over there. Your name and your street name, please. Thank you.
My name is Ralph Goodman. I help Sam out at the park there. And you gotta visualize apartments, they can be like this, looking really
What's your
nice.
address, sir?
Oh, pardon?
Your street address. The street
Oh.
name.
I live in Dearborn, but I work for Sam.
Oh, you work at the park?
Trailer, yeah. But
all right.
you gotta visualize, it's gonna look nice. You're gonna have the thing, if you bank it for the cars, there's gonna be a way of getting out, 20 units. And I'll tell you, those apartments are nice. So, and I'm pretty sure Sam's gonna do the police checks on their tenants and all that, so, I'm telling you, you gotta visualize. Beautiful, when Sam does something, it's beautiful, trust me.
Thank you, sir. All right, appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
We have, Mr. Mayor, you have?
I'm just gonna be quick, brief. Thank you, guys.
Take your time, but hurry up.
Been here all day, I've only been the mayor for 20 minutes.
No, go ahead. We have Mayor,
Again, I go back to, this is a very tough decision. I think you guys have to find some type of solution, though I think, you know, it sucks to an investor that comes into the city of Dearborn Heights, and this is a huge problem, and I think I've had this with Mr. Bazzi. You know, you get strung along this entire way. You invest all this money, you print all these prints, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent. That's not what the decision we're making. But we as a community need to do better by saying, early on stages, by saying, what are the expectations? What is gonna be said from the city engineer? I mean, I don't know if this is the first time you and the city engineer have had a conversation, but it seems like the city has already made its decision. Why even show up to the planning commission? But I think you guys need to really steep and look and take a deeper dive into this. One, if this is going to cause flooding, we don't want anything to damage, you know, the creek or the Rouge. But we also can't keep telling people what we hypothetically think that. You know, I know the gentleman today spoke on, you know, a potential investment with you know, fearing of putting a new position or spot on the corner of Warden Beach Daily, right? Has there been a traffic study for us to come out and give this evidence and information? You know, we can't just string things along. We have to have evidence and proof before we make up these scare tactics. I know today earlier we talked a little bit about Birmingham. You know, somebody said, well, we're not Birmingham. We don't want to be Birmingham. We're Dearborn Heights. And Dearborn Heights is a very unique community, and we're a very growing community. And so today, what I got of really sitting through my first planning commission, you know, being that I've been here since almost 8 a.m., is there is no structure in this meeting. And I don't mean that there's no structure by the chair. I mean that there's no structure for any investor to come into the city and say, I want to invest. It seems like they come in here, they take a gamble. This has been a complete gamble of what somebody might say, might not say, what we might run into, what we might. There's been no structure. So I hope in these 10 years that I'm moving forward that the city will see more of a structure so that when investors do come forward to want to invest, it's not like putting the city in a liability because somebody is approved, but because somebody doesn't like it, or a potential cause of an erosion to the Rouge. We have to have some type of structure. And that's why I said, you guys are in a very tough position.
The statement that I said earlier, economic vitality, to support sustainable economic development by creating quality developments and amenities that attracts businesses and residents.
Yeah.
Both. We're not saying attract businesses, attract residents, and protect the public at the same time. This is
But
very
I don't live
important.
on Outer Drive, so I just want you to know though, I'm speaking more so of to the families that came out here today. I mean, I know Mrs. Hamoud I went to school with her son. Her son's a renowned doctor at the emergency medicine. He's a great young man. But here's this young lady in our community who's invested all this time in all these prints and printed out and looked at it. It's a string along, it seems like. We need to do better. And if the city engineer had these, and I don't know what the conversation, guys, I have no idea. I haven't had a conversation with the resident or the architect or the city engineer. But if there are these barriers between each other, they should have had the conversation in writing, over the phone, in person, with a proper understanding of what is expected. The residents' input is one thing. What the open plan for, it seems like today, it was like a back and forth. Well, it's going to be beautiful. Well, this doesn't meet the setback. Well, there's these things underground. This to me was like, what is happening here today? It's not fair to the residents. It's not fair to the investors, and it's not fair to the board as well. I mean, honestly,
for the city at large.
I mean, really, I'm actually extremely disappointed. But I would hope to see. I can tell you right now. I spoke about this at the last city council meeting. Not every single time somebody wants to bring something forward, we're so quick hands up and say, oh, no, we can't do it. Change is hard. Change is extremely hard. You look at the Target Center on Ford Road, right behind my home. That was a school. Now it's a shopping center. I'm sure people opposed it. They did not want it, but now it is the most successful Target in all of Southeast Michigan. I know people, which I'm 100% opposed to the Starbucks. But in 2020, before the pandemic, right around the pandemic, it was reaching numbers as high as Manhattan. So there's some, these are the things that we have to consider and understand. We are a growing community.
Thanks for the compliment.
So, thank you guys.
Starbucks, thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Mayor.
it, man.
Thank you.
Mr. Bass, you want to speak in a public hearing, or you want to speak as a commissioner?
As a commissioner, when the time.
Okay, I gotta close the public hearing after this, if you don't mind. Anyone else from the public? Please come on up, sir.
Rick Oley, Outer Drive. I live in a trailer park. Been there 8 years. And you talk about crime, I know everybody in there. And the ones that I talk to on a regular basis, they aren't in. What Sam and Zach are doing is a good thing. You need more housing here. I agree with the mayor, and I'm glad that I have not cast my ballot yet for mayor because he just won it with his speech. Everything he said, I stand behind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else from the public? Everyone like guys done? Okay. Hearing none, I'd like to close the public hearing. Okay, Mr. Bazzi, you have a comment? Go ahead now.
Yes, actually, I heard the resident, I heard the developer and our mayor as well. And yes, we are put not in a very good position all the time here. The city definitely needs a planner. I mean, with all the respect to Mr. Deeb, the engineer, for the time and the effort he puts in the city. Hopefully with the new administration, we start to look into things more practical to make things run easy. When someone wants to come with a project, go to the
planning department with the planner or the engineering and the building. At least when they bring the project, we don't have to go what we've been going through here. So just want to elaborate a little bit on this project here. I heard about the need of the housing, and Mr. Turfer asked the question, one of the residents, what do you think we should do there? I mean, if you don't want the apartments. I visited the site, I met with the developer, I went to the next door to the trailer home, I spoke to some resident. I mean, I tell you, I was very impressed with the way, the cleanness of the place, quiet, nice, everybody outside were walking with their dogs and all that stuff. So going back to this project here, I mean, I was speaking to one of the school superintendent. We are losing our youth from the city here. They're moving out. There is shortages about finding an apartment, nice apartment or houses, and most of the new graduates, they can't afford to buy a house. I mean, they want to stay in the city. This is a great city. It's a diverse city, and very much everybody knows everybody. And definitely we have to come up with the right decision. I mean, we need our youth to stay here. We need our residents not to move out. We need to provide. There's big shortages in the housing in the area here. So therefore, I see the concern from both sides here. I looked at this project. I visited the site more than one time. It's a quiet area. Our police department, they always do a good job here. Mr. Chair, going back and forth here beside the details that's gotta go between the engineer and the city. I tell you one thing, I'm ready to put a motion when
Okay, just give me one moment, please, if you don't mind. We have missed one of the public sent an email, Dan Dickhunt from Burger Street. It reads in that he is opposed to this project, so like to enter that into record, I have to do that. So,
Commissioner Chair,
sure.
I actually walked this site myself as well, so I thank the developer for actually reaching out to the planning commission. I like to go to the site, walk it, figure out what's going on. I love what you're doing. Thank you for investing money in the city. Thank you for taking a distressed property that's really nothing going on and bringing life to it. And I know there were some concerned residents that they don't want to see it developed. But come here with a solution, not just, you just don't want it. What would you like to see there? And what are the options? And the best option is to do exactly what you're doing. So just to let the commission know that I support this project 100%, and thank you for doing business in the city, and we're here to work with you, not to work against you. So thank you.
Thank you. I also, you finished?
No, I didn't finish. I just want to say one more point here.
Okay.
It's all right. I mean,
Sorry.
I spoke with the developer and I did ask, why don't you redevelop the whole project here? I mean, his answer was, and I really do respect him for that, I'm not gonna let these people live in the trailer home without shelter, without a home.
Just a reminder, they're also residents, doesn't matter where you live, you live in the city of Dearborn Heights.
Mr. Chair, I walked inside, I guess we were there one time, and I met some of the residents, really nice, so I do thank him for coming forward with a project like this. Thank you.
Thank you. I also had the pleasure of visiting the property and met with the developer and his son and the architect Mona, and also had the Commissioner Sam Baidoun. Also, he was on site. He's always on duty, Sam Baidoun.
Yes.
So we walked the property. We walked all the way back to Heinz Drive, and I had a conversation with Mr. Deep that day, and he explained to me how this site's gonna work and what's going on over there. So pretty familiar with the property, and it's not like, folks, we don't make decisions just based on who the person is and what kind of paper we read in. We actually go visit the site and look at the project and look what's around it and how it's gonna affect the community in general, whether it was gonna be impacted negatively or positively. And we look at the options, which one's better? What's it gonna do for the neighbors? How many more residents we gonna gain? On 22 units, if this was to be built, hopefully, we don't know, 22 units at 2 bedroom, I mean, considering that's about 40, 50 residents. We gain in 50 residents in the city of Dearborn Heights. Imagine the workforce. These people gotta work somewhere, they gotta shop somewhere. So these are the things that we look at. This is the vision of the city, is to protect the public and provide development that's also, in essence, protects the public in the long term because of bringing tax revenue to the city. And at the end, the more tax revenue we get on the commercial side impacts the residential side, spills over and lowers your taxes, lowers your millage rate. So instead of being increased 5% every year, it might hit only 2%. Last year, I think we hit 3.2%, right? Thank you, I appreciate it.
Mr. Bezzi, you ready to put a motion?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Mr. Chair, if I may, just to kind of clarify, the commission's options, in terms of what the motion, can be. So, as Mr. Dibb mentioned, as currently proposed, the rezoning, it would rezone the entire parcel without the split. So I just want the commission to understand that and recognize that. And any sort of recommendation to city council would be based on rezoning that entire site, without the lot split. The commission could make a motion to recommend approval, or it can make a motion to recommend denial, or if it is the applicant's intent, to solely rezone, its proposed split, to build the apartment on, then obviously it's kind of a cart before the horse situation where a lot split would need to be required to rezone that specific parcel. So I just want to give you those options to explain, because it is a little bit of a different situation.
So let me understand this, that the application was to rezone the entire parcel, which
Yes,
is
because-
the 33-019-03-0061-003.
Yes, because without the lots-
That includes the trailer home.
Without the lot split, it's one big parcel.
Okay, and this is the first part. The second part is a site plan review, so we have two motions. One is for the rezoning and one
Correct.
for the site plan.
Yes,
So the
and-
first motion will go for the rezoning, let's see what happens.
Yep, and my recommendation, and as always, as I've mentioned to the commission in the past, for site plans, my recommendation would be to postpone review of the site plan until the city council actually approves the rezoning. Because if the city council does not approve the rezoning, there's no site plan for the planning commission to review,
I
so.
understand.
And then also at that point, obviously in this instance, if it is, worked out where it is rezoned, there's a lot of site planning issues that would have to be figured out, so.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Benson.
So based on that, I would like to put a motion to send it to the city council to rezone the entire parcel without lot split.
I second the motion.
Recommended approval, correct?
Okay.
Recommended approval.
Do you wanna rephrase that?
So again, the motion is to rezone the entire parcel without the lot split, recommended approval.
So it would be a motion to recommend approval of the rezoning.
Okay,
Is that your intent then, Mr. Bazey?
yes.
Okay.
You can say I adopt that.
So I adopt that.
Thank you.
Put this way.
Okay, we have a second.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carrie, would you mind taking a roll call?
Ali, excuse me, Ali Turfi,
Yes.
Ali Ayub,
Yes.
Fadi Akawi,
Yes.
Hassan Bazzi,
Yes.
Johnny Vidanovsky,
Yes.
Sam Falala.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, the second, we're gonna need a motion regarding the site plan. Alyssa, I suggest that if we probably table that.
Yeah, so if the commission would like, as I mentioned, I know we've done in the past where it would just essentially be a motion to postpone the site plan review until after the city council approves the rezoning, and the applicant obtains any and all necessary variances. Then that way, essentially, planning commission is seeing it if and when city council approves the rezoning, but then also if there's any necessary variances, they've already gotten them and they can come back to you, if that makes sense to the commission.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to table, to postpone SRU SPR 2025-0010 until it goes back in front of city council.
The part of the site plan review. Site
So,
plan.
yeah, so, you could say, if you're wishing for it to come back, as I just described, it would be a motion to postpone site plan review until after the city council approves the rezoning and the applicant obtains any and all necessary variances.
I adopt that motion.
I second. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye, carry.
Who made the second on that?
Hassan Bassi. Mr. Bazzi.
Thank you. Ali Turfi,
Yes.
Ali Ayub,
Yes.
Fadi Akawi,
Yes.
Hassan Bazzi,
Yes.
Johnny Vidanovsky,
Yes.
Sam Fadala.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
Good luck.
I guess we'll see you in, maybe next month. Okay, the next, SPR. Thank you. Item number 2 on our agenda is SPR 2025-0011. That is the address 4345 South Telegraph. Site plan review for modification. Still there? Let's make it quick.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I reviewed the site plan submittal package dated September 5, 2025, prepared by W.A. Wilkes for the construction of a new restaurant with a drive-through lane and an outdoor seating at the above location. The property is currently zoned C2, which is General Business District, and the proposed restaurant development is permitted in the C2 district. However, the drive-through part is a special land use in this district. So, project site, facility is located at the corner of Telegraph and Lehigh Streets, and the proposed development calls for partial demolition and upgrade to the existing parking lot and building's facade to allow for the new use. Project description, the applicant is proposing to convert an existing restaurant and add a drive-through with an outdoor patio. Special land use approval. The special land use approval, as defined in section 36-37, means it's a use of either public or private which possesses unique characteristics and therefore cannot be classified as permitted in a particular zoning district. After due consideration of the impact of any such proposed use upon the neighboring land and the public, and of the public, after due consideration of the impact of the proposed use upon the land and public need for the proposed land use on the planned location. Such special land use may be permitted following a review and approval, subject to the terms of this chapter. Now, the key feature in special land use approval procedure is that the planning commission is authorized to approve, deny, or approve a special land use application with imposition of feasible conditions. These conditions may include provisions necessary to ensure public services and facilities affected by that use. The activity will be able to accommodate the increased services of the facilities loads generated by the new development and to protect the natural environment and conserve natural resources and energy, to ensure compatibility with adjacent uses of land and to promote the use of land in a socially and economically desirable manner. Special land use approval criteria. Now, section 36.513 establishes the criteria for special land use approval. These criteria are as follows. 1. Compatibility with adjacent uses. The proposed special land use shall be designed and constructed and operated to maintain to be compatible with such uses in the surrounding land. This site design and proposed special land use shall minimize the impact of this activity on surrounding properties. When determining whether these requirements have been met, consideration shall be given to, one, the location and screening of vehicular circulation and parking areas in relation to surrounding development, and two, proposed landscaping and other amenities. Additional landscaping over and above the requirement of this chapter may be required as a condition of approval. Analysis. One, the proposed use is consistent with the local zoning, adjacent uses, and it's considered compatible with this site. This review is limited to the submitted site plan, which is missing a number of important information, and shows minimal landscaping and a 90+% hard surface development. And I noted that on page C201, the consultant shows that the new development will slightly reduce the site's existing and previous surfaces. Compatibility with the master plan. The proposed land use shall be consistent with the general principles and objectives of the city's master plan and shall promote the intent and purpose of this chapter. An analysis, the property is in an area that is designated general business district in the master plan, and the proposed use is consistent with this designation. Now, on public services, the proposed land use shall be located as to be adequately served by essential public facilities and services, such as highways, streets, police and fire protection, drainage system, water and sewage facility, and schools, unless the proposal contains acceptable plans for provision necessary services to provide these services, and such services will be available at the time that the special land use is established. So analysis, the proposed land use is adequately served by roads and public services in this particular location. Additional engineering review will be required to verify water, stormwater, and sanitary sewer capacity. Impact of traffic. The location of the proposed land use within the zoning district shall minimize the impact of the traffic generated by that proposed use. And when you're determining this requirement, consideration shall be given to the following: proximity and access to major thoroughfare, estimated traffic generated by that use, proximity in relation to intersections, adequacy of driver's side distance, location and access to off-street parking, required vehicular turning movement, provisions for pedestrian traffic. Analysis. This proposed use is located on Telegraph Road, which is a major thoroughfare. The applicant has not submitted any traffic impact study or analysis, or otherwise provided traffic details to analyze potential traffic impacts on this location. So section 36495-11 provides the planning commission with authority to request a traffic study, impact study, but Telegraph Road being an MDOT major artery will require state approval prior to construction. The city's engineering department coordinates all development with appropriate agencies having jurisdictions. In this case will be the MDOT. The site does not add any additional pedestrian amenities beyond what's existing sidewalks. Site plan approval. The submitted site plan included in this application is for planning purposes only. Architectural and engineering document will be required as part of the construction permit process if this thing is approved. Items such as electrical, mechanical, utility information will be reviewed and will have conditions of approval by the building and engineering department. The proposed site plan provides little information regarding the actual operation. So the following details will be required. One, proposed screen walls along the property lines, it's missing. Two, outdoor seating arrangement. The submitted application did not include outdoor seating. So if you look at the application, it doesn't mention it. However, if you look, when I reviewed the document, it clearly lists a patio under the scope of work, but shows no details. It just highlights a patio area. Three, stormwater mitigation. The city of Dearborn Heights enforces the Wayne County stormwater management, and this project must also obtain Wayne County approval prior to construction. 5, outdoor seating as proposed lacks the required details. Again, at a minimum, the designer must submit detail on separation method between the public and the sidewalks, vehicular traffic of the new proposed patio. 2, the section 365 establishes required parking by use group within the city of Dearborn Heights. So the outdoor seating requires additional parking, 1 parking space for every 2 seats. 3, section 36170 requires the hour of operation for outdoor seating must also be specified on the site plan. Hour of operation is subject to approval by the planning commission during the review of site plan application. Finally, outdoor seating must also be reviewed by the fire chief, police chief, building official, and city engineer, and their input submitted to the planning during the application review process. Parking and stacking requirement. The submitted document did not provide enough information to determine compatibility with the required number of parking stalls. Section 36365 provide guidance for compliance. For restaurants and carry-out fast food establishment, the ordinance require 1 per 100 UFA, which is usable for a floor area, plus 1 per employee, plus 1 drive-through requirement. So, as well as outdoor seating requirement. The drive-through vehicular stacking is not just to flow, but must also be shown on the site plan. So, conclusion, section 36497E provides the planning commission with authority to approve with conditions, or deny or table the proposed projects. The planning commission may ask for more information regarding the intended mixed use before rendering final plan approval. Once again, our wonderful attorney had mentioned something, that this site used to be a Dunkin' Donut, which had a drive-through. However, drive-through special use is not transferable. So it is looked at on case-per-case basis, which is why we're doing, did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so in speaking with the building department, I do believe that they have historically taken special approval land uses and transferring them to new users. From a legal perspective, I think technically speaking, under the zoning ordinance, every single special approval land use has to be decided on its own merits. I will say that this obviously was not noticed for outdoor seating. It's my understanding that we typically hold public hearings for the outdoor seating requests. So, as proposed, the planning commission can't really act on approving the outdoor seating without having that hearing. So, my recommendation would be, after obviously hearing from the applicant and things of that nature, would be to have them come back to the drawing board, so to speak, so we can notice it properly.
Thank you.
Yep.
At this time, we'd just like to take a 3-minute recess, if you don't mind. Thank you. Good evening and welcome again to City of Dearborn Heights Planning Commission meeting. Today is Thursday, October 9th. It is 8:16 p.m. We'll continue the discussion on this case. Where we left off, Mr. Deep? Was it SPR 2025-0011? That's the 4345 South Telegraph property. Okay, we've heard from the engineering on this, and we'd like to hear from the developer or representative. Anyone from it? Thank you. Please state your name and your affiliation with the project.
So my name is Daniel Aversa. I am the project architect for the project. So I'm here on behalf of Chipotle. I just wanted to address a couple of items that came up. I just wanted to clarify that we are essentially not, the previous tenant was Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins, existing drive-through window. We are only, Chipotle is going to be proposed to take over the building.
Would you speak up, please?
Yeah,
Microphone.
sorry. We aren't changing any of, it's a like-for-like tenant replacement essentially. We're not proposing any changes to the location of the drive-through window or how the site functions. I'm actually a little bit surprised that we do these all across the country. Normally we do not have to come to a planning commission board meeting for this type of, with the minimal amount of change that we are proposing. Essentially we're proposing to clean up the site, do some exterior building improvements to remove some of the previous branding of Dunkin' Donuts and make the building present more as a Chipotle restaurant. So another item I wanted to address was the no additional pedestrian amenities. We are proposing to add an additional ramp to the secondary egress door. Currently, it's there are steps leading up to that door. It's not accessible. We're making it accessible as part of the improvements that we're proposing on the site. So I guess I'll just. We're also making a new connection to the public right of way on Lehigh Street as well, which doesn't currently exist. So I guess I'll just go through kind of the improvements just to kind of give, from our perspective, the minimal aspect of what we're actually proposing for this project. So we are proposing some minor site modifications and exterior building improvements to remove the previous tenant's branding elements in favor of Chipotle trade dress, and just generally improving the appearance of the building and the site. We're proposing to mill and overlay the asphalt paving, which is in very poor condition at the moment. We are removing the dilapidated existing trash enclosure at the northeast corner of the property, building a new trash enclosure at the southeast corner. We will be saw cutting and removing the existing concrete pavement of the patio and sidewalk, replacing all with new concrete patio slab sidewalk, and proposing a new ramped entry to the secondary door in place of the existing steps to improve accessibility. We are adding a new crosswalk in connection to the pedestrian right of way along Lehigh Street. We are removing and replacing in kind the privacy wall at the back of the property, which is currently falling down. The existing landscaping beds at the perimeter of the property will remain. We're not proposing any changes to the existing landscaping other than just revitalizing what's there at the moment, which is basically dead landscaping at the moment. And we are also proposing to remove and replace the existing monument sign cabinet that faces Telegraph Road. The brick base will remain and be repaired. So that's on the site. The exterior improvements, we will be proposing to remove all the existing decorative cornices, removing all the existing awnings, recladding the entry tower with ribbed metal panel in a dark gray, recladding the pickup window massing in the same material, proposing to add a new ephes massing at the upper portion of the exterior wall, and then repairing and painting the existing CME brick walls around the building. All of the existing storefront windows will be repaired and remain where possible, and replaced in kind where needed. So we're not changing the building footprint at all, other than just revitalizing the building essentially on the site. So I just wanted to be clear that we're not, it's making this sound like we're doing an entirely new drive-through application. We're just improving the site for like in-kind tenants to go into the same building that was there previously. So happy to answer any questions there.
So this is the existing restaurant, and now you converted it into a restaurant.
Exactly.
And it had a drive-through, and now it's gonna have drive-through.
Yes.
The only difference here that, and the attorney mentioned that with respect to the outdoor seat-in, that requires public hearing?
Yes, in checking with the building clerk, public hearing is held for the outdoor seating requests.
So this application should have been noticed to the public.
I believe that the outdoor public seating was not mentioned on the application, which is part of the reason why it was not noticed for a public hearing. That's at least my understanding, Mr. Chair.
So would it be fair to say that we can look at other stuff and without the outdoor seating, and they can come back for that?
I mean, technically, you can approve a site plan without a public hearing, but you can't approve the portion of the outdoor public seating, which is encompassed in the site plan. So again, it's cart before the horse.
I want to point out that we did send we sent the proposed patio layout to, actually we tried to proactively engage the city in what was going to be required at this meeting. we have it, we have all the plans complete. If we would have, I guess, known that that was something we would look at, we would have been happy to.
It's the issue of the public hearing, it requires a notice, and I think it's 21 days, right, Carrie?
Yes, that's correct.
So we kind of like, we didn't notice the public on this, so we can't actually act on the outdoor seating issue.
And I do believe, as Mr. Dibb mentioned, there has to be consultation with various city agencies, like fire, things of that nature. And I think information's actually missing on the outdoor seating.
It's not on the application form.
Yeah.
So it was just when I reviewed the documents, that's when it showed up. But in addition to all this, part of it, so when you figure out the number of parking spaces, you know, again, if I don't have the information on the outdoor seating, how do I know how many parking spaces? And two, your land area, your application is 0.5270. Again, I'm not trying to be difficult. These are the requirements that we have, over half acres. So again, it isn't our call. This is something that the county provides for the storm management. Again, whatever decisions are made, these are all linked, right? So, I mean, you probably want to know if they are going to require any kind of stormwater mitigation before you finish your design, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay, so, I mean, these are all valid.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm a little bit confused, I guess, on why, on what, like, these are all things that we can obviously have done, to this point, but.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so can
Because
we?
you're gonna need at least 3 weeks to notice the public. All these things need to be addressed and supplied to the building department, so they can notice the public 21 days prior to our meeting.
For the patio, correct?
Yeah, that's how, I
Okay,
mean.
I mean, can we come back regarding the patio specifically?
That's what I asked Jeremy.
I think it's easiest just to do everything at the same time, because Mr. Dibb, as mentioned, he's still missing certain information for the patio, which I think also works in conjunction with some of the requirements for the site plan itself, like parking, things of that nature, so.
We can make a decision in a few, I think the best choice here is to just table this, postpone it to the next meeting, if we have a meeting next month, okay? And, that gives you 30 days. Actually, that gives you 7-8 days to supply with the information, because
He would need to have it in on Monday because today was the deadline.
Monday, would have it this coming Monday? So it's only, you got 2 business days. Do you think you can accomplish that?
No, I don't do that, but I also want to point out too, the previous tenant, this is not a new patio that we are proposing, it's an existing patio slab, we're just replacing.
So they had an outdoor seating in
Yes, yeah.
the prior patio?
Again, the seating arrangement will determine the number of parking spaces, right? So it doesn't show, it just shows a highlight of a patio. I don't have, so the plans that the submitted plans and these documents, my review are based on what you submitted, right? So if you say you have updated or you have more detailed documents, provide them.
Does
So
the
we can
city-
determine
does-
that.
sorry, Mr. Chair.
I only base my review on what you submitted.
Right, I guess,
Mr. Turkey, go ahead. You have it.
You know, I think this is a big concern, honestly. Like, we have a national tenant coming before us to do business in the city, and we're only giving them a hard time. This was an existing site, what was it, Dunkin' Donuts. He's not doing any changes to the structure of the property. But now we're talking about retention, and we're talking about storm, and he's gotta meet all these qualifications. And the property already has, I drive by the site every day, it's already got outdoor seating. Why are we now talking about giving residents a notice when this should have already been done? If the city dropped the ball, that's the city's problem. I'm ready to put a motion down right now.
We dropped the ball.
Once you guys are ready, because
City dropped the ball?
somebody dropped the ball. Why are we now, right now talking about giving residents notice about the outdoor seating.
This is enough.
I
So,
mean, I
the
just first
entire
we have to
ordinance
consolidate.
is online. Every one of these requirements are online. You can easily look at every one of those requirements. When you did your submittal, all these requirements are online. All I ask for is that include them in your documents.
Mr.
I
Chair.
don't read minds, right?
Mr. Deep, thank you.
Reading, I'm not done yet, but just let me add to that. I'm reading the applicant's application, and it clearly states on the application, see plans for additional information. And I'm looking at the plans, and let me know if I'm mistaken or not, but I do see outdoor seating here. Am I not correct? Are the outdoor seating not so
So we have a full set of construction documents complete. Our understanding was that those documents could not be submitted until this planification meeting was complete. So we have a full set of plans that we can provide that show patio, if that's.
But those not. No, not.
Yeah, and
Melissa, I have a question. Does the planning commission have the authority to approve this application, this request as it stands without asking for public hearing on the outdoor seating? That's my question.
So it was my understanding, that the outdoor seating was not currently on site. That was my understanding. I don't know whether or not that's accurate or not. I mean, I think that additional information is likely required, for site plan in terms of the, maybe perhaps the parking. I don't know what information Mr. Dibb would need. Now, you could, of course, if, in theory, that the outdoor seating was already there, you could condition the site plan approval on providing that information in compliance, with the outdoor seating. I just don't know what's currently on site. It was my understanding there wasn't outdoor seating.
Mr. Chair?
I think,
Mr. Bessie, go ahead.
I think if she can provide with the old prints for the old Dunkin' Donuts, if they have like a blueprint, old blueprints, we can tell the changes if there's a.
we don't have the prints from the previous tenants, but it was a previous patio, and typically what we've seen, again, patios around the country, all throughout Michigan, if the patio has been approved for the previous tenant, as long as we're not exceeding what was previously approved, then, we're not changing anything on the site.
I mean,
We're not
that would be like easier for you, we can tell this, this is the old.
We could find out how many patio seats the previous tenant had, and we would meet those seating count if that was a requirement. We wouldn't exceed what was previously approved.
Mr. Chair, what you could do is the commission, could approve the site plan as presented with, if you find that obviously that meets the site plan standards, and make conditions whatever you see fit. And then obviously, the city thereafter could determine whether or not there's additional approvals needed for the outdoors patio.
That's what I was.
And we can avoid, the notice to the residents?
So if the outdoor patio essentially was not there, or if it's going to be different than what was there, then they would need to come back. But I think at this juncture, if the commission would like to approve the site plan as presented, with the understanding that the city would essentially administratively determine whether or not additional approvals are needed for the outdoor seating, that could work. But again, you're essentially approving the site plan, with the idea that, there may be additional approvals if necessary down the road for the outdoor public seating.
I'm ready to make a motion. You guys are all set.
Mr. Bessie, go ahead.
I mean, the question, again, wouldn't the building department can tell if it used to be a patio there? Can we get some order here, Mr. Chairman?
Okay, Mr. Deep, Do you agree with the Melissa's assessment on this?
Sure.
I only, like I said, the patio part, and I visited that site, the patio part is only mentioned in the scope of services on the front page of the documents. There are no details provided. Now, my issue is, I'm following the zoning ordinance, right? I need to know how many seats, the seating layout, all the stuff that I mentioned are required for that approval. Now, whether it was there, and I don't believe it was, but even if the area was designated, I don't know how many seats they're going to be. So these details normally are provided on the documents. And I can, and I believe the gentleman does have them, it's just that what was submitted is lacking. It's not on the documents, it was just left on the front page that we have.
Can I make a comment? I'm sorry to interrupt you. So we have no intention to exceed what was previously approved for the Dunkin' Donuts. And also, this is all stuff that we will provide with their building permit submittal, which, the only reason we haven't submitted for a building permit, the building plan review, is because we were instructed that we couldn't do that until this meeting happened. And so, all that information will be provided as part of that.
So when you go to determine the number of parking spaces, right? So as I indicated earlier, the zoning requires, one parking for every 2 seats, right? That information was not provided, so I don't know if you have enough parking. This is a site plan review. I'm not trying to be difficult, I'm trying to apply what the zone, so this is equally applied to all. And if I was, maybe this document should have been provided, all this details should have been on the site plan. I'm not talking about the exterior or the elevation or, just the normal. So I'm trying to calculate what your parking requirements and the flow.
So my response to that would be, it's not a change of use, and we're not changing any of the parking in the site. We're literally just repaving the site, and so there shouldn't be any new, there's no new.
You're rebranding the whole site, you're
Repaving the
rebranding,
entire
you're not changing anything on the
We're not
structure.
changing any of the
parking lot the
parking,
same.
we're moving the trash enclosure is the only thing that we're changing. Yeah.
Mr. Turfy, you had.
I'd like to make a motion to approve site plan 2025-001 under the conditions it meets the building department's requirements for outdoor seating
And parking.
and parking.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Here we will take a roll.
Ali Turkey,
Yes.
Ali Ayub,
Yes.
Fadi Akawi,
Yes.
Hassan Bazzi,
Yes.
Nani Vidanovsky,
Yes.
Sanford Lala.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Thank you for
Thank you, sir.
bringing
Please.
the business to our city.
Thank
Was
you.
it Chipotle? Chipotle, yeah. Thank you for the time and bringing the business to our city.
Thank you.
You're
Next case, sorry to rush through this real quick. So SPR 2025-0012, that will be 257511, 257251, Precision Construction, public hearing for rezoning from CX to C3, site plan review for gas station. Mr. D?
Mr. Chair, I'm sorry, Mr. D. Can
Go
I
ahead.
say something before Mr. D?
Go ahead.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Yeah. So, I know this is the talk of the town lately here, and I'm very sensitive about some projects in the city. So if it is for zoning from CX to C3, regardless what kind of business later, I mean, why it's coming to the planning commission, not going to the zoning, to change the zoning from CX to C3, which is general business, right? They could do gas station, car wash, any other business. So why it's coming to the planning commission first?
In terms of the rezoning request, you're asking why it comes to planning commission?
Yeah.
So under the zoning ordinance, that is how the process works. So if someone is looking to amend the zoning map, which is what a rezoning does, you first have to come to the planning commission. The planning commission has to hold a public hearing, and they have to make a recommendation to city council. City council would ultimately be the final decision maker in whether or not that parcel is rezoned to the requested rezoning. Zoning Board of Appeals is just not part of that equation. It's not part of their authorities under the law or under the ordinance. They are there to essentially interpret the zoning ordinance, to grant variances and things of that nature.
Okay, good enough. So the second part of the question, even though there is a moratorium in the city, no gas stations, no car washes, still the applicant has the right to apply for such a business in this caliber?
So this request is essentially, I would think of it as two separate requests. So as you mentioned, the first request is to essentially rezone the parcel from CX to C3. It doesn't have anything to do with what is actually going on the site in terms of development. That's simply asking this commission and asking city council to change the zoning on the property. If that is approved, obviously you could, in theory, construct whatever you can construct under C3, right? But in terms of the moratorium itself, it's my understanding in looking at the language of the moratorium, it simply just prohibits permits being issued by the city for those new types of businesses. What essentially the commission would be looking at is giving site plan approval. So you're not looking at giving them a certificate of occupancy or a building permit or anything like that. You're simply just looking at their request for a rezoning and also looking at a site plan. I will mention that under the zoning ordinance in C3, a gas station is a special approval land use. That would obviously have to be noticed for a public hearing. This evening was only noticed for a rezoning and a site plan review, but again, that's based on the city council actually rezoning the parcel to the proper zoning.
Okay, just bear with me. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. This is very important subject here. So let's say if we're voting yes today to send it to the zoning.
City council. To city council.
To the city council.
For rezoning, yep.
For rezoning.
You would be sending a recommendation to city council to rezone the parcel.
It doesn't mean that like in any way or shape that like we're approving whatever project they wanna put there or what's on the.
Nope, what you're looking at with a request for a rezoning is, as Mr. Dibb mentioned in the first application, you look at the 9 standards within the zoning ordinance in terms of whether or not the proposed rezoning works with the surrounding areas. Is it, compatible with the surrounding areas? It's more about looking at the property itself and looking at the actual zoning of that parcel, not what is actually going to go on site.
Thank you.
All set? Thank you. Mr. Dibb, please.
Sorry, Mr.
You don't have to be brief, so we read the whole thing.
Okay, good. So, save me, so again, the property is currently zoned CX, which is commercial, residential, mixed-use district. Gas stations are not permitted in the CX district. The requested rezoning to C3, which is a commercial use district, if approved, will make this proposal a special land use. So again, this is two-step process, as our council indicated. So we'll start with the challenges, and I'm not going to go over the moratorium. We already covered that. So the submitted documents are missing quite a bit of important data to prevent proper review. Again, not trying to be difficult, but these are missing information include the existing demolition plan, proper site survey at the very minimum, a site survey so we know what the dimensions are, and then parcel combinations if needed, because you got multiple parcels. If you wanted to combine them to create a larger parcels, you'll need a survey and you need a parcel combine. So project site, the proposed facility is located in an existing developed corner at the southeast corner of Beach Daly and Warren Avenue. Again, it's hard to ascertain what portions of the existing parcels are being demoed because again, we need a full survey and demolition plan. So the applicant is proposing to build a service station with a convenience store on 2 parcels totaling 15,221 square feet or 0.35 acres based on the submitted documents. Start with the site plan review. The site plan include this application that's considered preliminary and it is incomplete. Many of the information needed, as I said earlier, include the site demolition, stormwater management, area of concerns are the number of other sections of the city ordinance which the designer need to be looking at. Section 36191, which is accessory retail and service use, driveway access. By the way, Warren Avenue is a county road, so that will be required. Special land use approval, a special land use as defined by section 36-37. Again, if that rezoning is approved, this is when the,
Yeah, and I would say, Mr. Dibb, we probably don't need discussion of the special approval land use standards at this juncture, since we are just looking at the site plan and the rezoning. It just, I guess in the essence of time, and also because we did not notice it for special approval land use, I would just.
So we'll just concentrate on the rezoning.
Yes, the
basically.
rezoning
Alright.
standards and the site plan.
So the proposal land use shall be designed as constructed and operated as to maintain compatibility with adjacent land use. The location and screening of vehicular traffic, the analysis, compatibility, so the submitted document like it, again, number of critical information, listed on the site plan. So two, it's compatibility with the master plan, if this is consistent with the general principle of the city's master plan. See, the property is currently designated as CX, and the proposed use is not consistent with this designation. Public services, the proposed special land use shall be located on adequately served by essential public services. And analysis, it is adequately served by a roadway and public safety and public services. Additional reviews will be required for sanitary and utilities. Impact of traffic, again, the proposed use is located on the Beach Daily and Warren Avenue, two major thoroughfare. The site proposed driveway do not reduce the site distances, and parking is located within the property proposed facilities. Detrimental effect, the proposed special land use shall be involved in an activity and possess material and equipment and condition of operation shall not be located or designated as to be detrimental or hazardous to public health. And then isolation of uses. So analysis, the proposed use of the site plan, if approved, will create an isolated, based on the need, the planning commission shall find that a need for the proposed use exists in the community at the special, at the time of approval. There is no, the applicant did not provide supporting documentation detailing the proposed concept in relation to nearby competition or demographics. Proposed use is not that, so the economic well-being of the community, if the special use is determined to be an economic well-being of the community, the proposed use is not detrimental to the economic well-being of the community, compatibility with the environment, the natural environment of the natural resources of the energy. The proposed plans shows 100% lot coverage. Again, the submitted document do not provide enough information to provide this. So I'm gonna go over the 9.
Are you okay, Mr. Dean?
Okay. So, this was the site plan, so now we go to the 9 points for the rezoning. So the 9 plans, once again, the proposed amendment will incorporate the basic intent of the purpose of this zoning ordinance. There are no other, this area does not have any other C3 district adjacent. Will the proposed amendment further comprehend the planning goal of the city? The city's planning goals in that location, there are no other, the city's current planning goals are not included in such revision. Number 3, have conditions changed since the zoning ordinance was adopted, and was there any mistake in the zoning ordinance? The answer to that is no, the city never rezoned that parcel. Number 4, will the amendment correct an inequitable situation by the zoning ordinance rather than merely grant a privilege? And the answer is no, the amendment does not correct any inadequate situation. Number 5, will the amendment result in unlawful exclusion in that zoning? Answer is yes.
Okay.
That would be exclusion. Number 6, will the amendment be incorporate, will create a precedent resulting in need to correct future mistakes? And the answer is, it is possible. It might create. Number 7, if the rezoning is requested, is the proposed zoning consistent with the zoning classification in the surrounding area? Again, the surrounding area does not. Number 9, if the zoning is requested, rezoning is requested, is the proposed zoning consistent with the trends in that development? The answer is.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
up to you.
Mr. Dick. For sense?
Yes.
I'd like to ask a question to Councilman Saab.
Yes.
And if you don't mind, just for clarification, I know this is off track, but this is gonna help us a lot with, just to clarify some things. Good evening, Mr. Saab. How are you? Good. Mr. Hassan Saab, City Councilman, lives on John Dale. Thank you.
Sir.
With the clarification or the moratorium that I believe you proposed that motion to do that, right?
Correct.
We just need we don't need your input on this, we just need a clarification. What is the moratorium and what does it do for the city? And how is that, preventing us from doing our job here?
So if you read the moratorium and break down, an existing facility that's non-conforming is exempt from this. And it says that in the section. Anything that's existing automotive, that's part that's non-conforming, is exempt from this moratorium. So if you had an auto facility place, and it's still an auto facility place that's still doing auto facility or auto works, if it does not fall into the moratorium states this, that if you had a hotel, for example, you wanna knock down and put a gas station there, you can't do that. That's what the moratorium is. We've had multiple projects come through the city on existing lots that were part of the moratorium that still have gotten built. The moratorium is existing brand new.
So
sites
anything
from
that's
these
brand
ones.
new?
Correct.
There's new construction?
Correct, and if you read the moratorium, it's clearly stated in there.
Okay. Alyssa, your analogy of that was that the moratorium also falls in the same line with Mr. Saab's.
The building is automotive, non-conforming right now, so it's still gonna retain the automotive part of it, and that's where the challenge of the balance of the moratorium comes in there. And it says that in the, I think the second or first section of the moratorium.
My understanding with the moratorium prevents the city of Dearborn Heights, the building department, from issuing a permit to construct new gas station.
Brand new.
So-
That one was actually,
so that-
I believe in 1957 or 56 was an actual gas station at that point.
So there was an existing gas station?
There wasn't.
So there's still tank in the ground?
I don't know what's in there, but whatever it is, it's an automotive facility. It falls under the category of an existing auto facility.
So we should have no problem with a gas station?
No, because it falls under that category
Okay.
as an existing. If it was not an automotive facility, they cannot build there, period.
So if this was to be recommended to city council for approval, would you be
Mr.
able
Chair,
to
I'm
explain
sorry.
to the public what?
Mr. Chair, are you taking a legal opinion here, or?
It's
No,
not a
I'm
legal opinion.
asking this,
It's
No,
not,
you be looking at this and you propose the moratorium, so.
there was 3 other facilities that were built in the city currently under the moratorium because they were existing auto facilities.
All right.
Thank you.
You have a question for Mr. Saab?
So, is this place vacant? I see no activities there.
Correct.
It's vacant, right?
Correct.
It's closed.
But it's still an existing, you cannot put a restaurant there as this stands. It's non-conforming.
Thank you, Mr. Saab. Appreciate your input on this. Okay.
So just for clarification, the moratorium does not fall regarding this project. We got to pass the moratorium.
It's not that it does not fall against this project. If the project falls under an existing structure for an existing business for the same use or within the use of the auto, yes, it stays. For example, we can't if a gas station is closed, and we open up that gas station back to a gas station, it's still gonna be a gas station, it's grandfathered in as a gas station.
Thank you.
All right, we're done here.
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you. So we'd like to hear the applicant presentation on this. Is there someone from the applicant involved? Please state your name and your affiliation with this.
My name is Ali Bezi, I'm an engineer, project engineer. With the contractor.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
So the property that's on there right now, there's two structures on there. There's one right on the corner on Warden Beach Daily, and there's one just inside going east of Beach Daily. That's attached to the adjacent structure. So we're proposing to demolish the one on the corner of Warren and Beach Daily, and that's gonna be where the pumps are gonna be, and then the structure that's adjacent to the, closer to the east side of the parcel, that one's gonna be the convenience store inside.
What would you enter for?
You enter, on the, if you see, do you guys have the sheets?
Yeah, I'm just asking you, what would you enter for?
You mean for the cars?
Yeah.
They can enter either from Beach, on Beach Daily or on Warren.
So you have two?
There's two curb cuts, yeah.
Now, is that a curb cut on Beach Daily or is that an alley?
That's an alley. Oh, on Beach Daily is an alley.
But the one on Warren, that's an existing curb cut. We already have a curb cut there.
That's the correct answer.
Yeah.
The alley is not actually a driveway into your gas station or your business, which is
Yeah.
just an alley. Okay. Anything else you can tell us about the project? Is there just a gas station and convenience store? Is there office space? Is there restaurants? Is there anything?
No, no restaurants. There's going to be some, there's an electric charging station. It's going to be on the north side of the property. And yeah, we're proposing to put 6 pump islands on there. And we have a survey, we have more information with dimensions with the site plan. This was just to kind of introduce the project to the board.
Are you guys willing to work? Are you guys willing to work with the board? 'Cause my concern is the children, you know, during school hours, to eliminate that Beach Daily entrance or put a retaining wall there so cars cannot make that turn into the gas station, or even possibly making that into a one-way, because I don't see anything on these plans regarding the traffic circulation. So we don't know which way the cars are gonna come in, which way the cars are gonna go out. Nothing really indicates that.
Mr. Topo, if you don't mind, I'd just make a comment here. For my understanding that we are discussing the zoning just to see, to send it to the council to rezone it, right? So, I mean, he's not the owner, he's the architect. There's other questions that now, with all due respect, we're going like as if this is a project that we're going to. So we see my point.
So they're not here for site plan approval, they're just here for rezoning, is that what it sounds like?
They're here for both actually, but we're only looking at the.
Yeah, so there's a request for rezoning and site plan approval. As I mentioned, in order to, I think they're kind of giving you a flavor of what they would like to put there if they get their rezoning. Because currently, you can't construct what they're proposing. So they also need a special land use if the rezoning is approved. At that juncture, you would essentially be looking at the use in terms of the special approval land use standards, and you also would be able to look at, I think, a more complete site plan package that would be submitted that discusses the site plan standards. So I think, although a site plan was submitted, I do think, and I don't want to speak for the applicant, but I think the intent was more so to give the commission a flavor of perhaps what they would propose.
Yeah, just introduce the project to the board.
Just have a couple of questions for you. You're the engineer, the civil engineer on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Dave requested some information that is missing, which is not limited to existing demolition plans. Do you have that?
Yeah, we have all that information.
The proper site plan survey, the parcel combination records.
Well, we haven't combined the parcels yet, but we plan on doing that. We have a surveyor that's gonna be doing that.
Okay. I asked you about the access point that will be on Warren Avenue.
we're gonna see all that in section.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else would you like to add? Anybody have a question for?
I have a question. I mean, maybe you're not the right person to answer my question here, but I'm gonna ask it. Why you wanna put a gas station on a congested area in this particular corner there across from crazy traffic and the schools? And you heard earlier one of the members mentioned that they're trying to get some parking from the golf course. I mean, why a gas station on this particular corner, even though, I wanna put this on the record, within 8.1 mile radius, there's 10 gas stations in Dearborn Heights. And plus the business behind the proposed gas station and the grocery store. I mean, traffic is crazy, just curious. I don't know if you can answer this question or you leave it to the owner.
Yeah, I would leave it to the owner, but it's just, you know, whatever business you put there, you're gonna be bringing in traffic if it's retail.
Is the owner here?
It's overseas.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just curious.
I think this project would have been perfect if you would have done in the CX district, you could have done mixed use, office with condos and retail on the bottom, you know. You got enough land over there. If you keep in the east side store, I mean, that's my vision, and I think Mr. Toki would see that too. You keep in the store on the east side and demolish the building that's facing Beach Daily at the corner. You have a huge open parking lot, and I mean, I don't know, it's up to you, but we're not here talking about that. I mean, we're just gonna talk about rezoning and
Yeah, so essentially, what the commission's analysis should be is whether or not the proposal to rezone it from CX to C3 meets those 9 standards. If the city council, after a recommendation by the commission, decides to rezone it to C3, they don't necessarily have to bring back their current proposal either. They can put something in there as a permitted use, they can put a different special approval land use. I mean, once it's rezoned, it's rezoned, so.
Okay. Does this require a public hearing?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Nothing further from the commission for the?
Now, the lot for changing of zoning on the property requires public hearing?
Yes, it's just like the first case that we had, where you're making a recommendation of approval, but you do have to have a public hearing on the requested rezoning.
And I'm assuming the public was notified, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, we'd like to open the public hearing at this point. Anyone from the public has something to say regarding this project, please, sir, come up to the podium, state your name and your street name only.
Good evening.
Your name again?
My name Case Nasser, 25711 West Warren Road. I'm here to formally express my objection to the proposed new gas station and convenience store at Warren and Beach Daily Road intersection. The proposal also appears to violate ordinance H-13-04 established by the Dearborn Heights zoning commission, which prohibited gas stations from being located within 500 feet of any school property. I understand the goal of promoting local business growth, that's great. However, the project location raises several serious concerns for the nearby residents, community members, and small business owners. So I would like to say what other issues, actually safety concerns. So the proposed site is close to Riverside Middle School. This is a residential area, small businesses, that will increase traffic, fuel deliveries, issues, and vehicle congestion significantly will create a lot of possible accident in that area. And with fuel and petroleum, benzene, toluene, all these chemicals can also migrate to this school. It's only 189 feet between that location and actually the school. And the second thing is environmental and health risk. Gas station pose well-documented environmental hazards, including potential fuel leaks, could be a catastrophic one, and that could plume these schools in the neighborhood. Air pollutions from fuel and runoff contamination. These are particular concerns given the proximity to the sensitive site. The other thing is traffic and noise impact. A 24-hour gas station and convenience store will increase traffic volume, noise and light pollution, and especially during night hours, disrupting the peace and safety of the neighborhood. The fourth important one, also the impact on property value. The prices of the property if you own a business or you own a house. The additional gas station may negatively affect property values and alter the residential character of community. Our area is designed for safe, family-oriented, and not for high traffic commercial use. Also, there is availability of existing gas stations. There's a lot of gas stations not close to school. That's the most important thing. Yes. These are already several gas stations and convenience store far from schools within a short distance. The community needs are adequately met without introducing another high-risk development. And to be honest with you, there's other things. The process of the demolition. We know right now there's a rot issue in Dearborn Heights. That's the community trying to solve. And with all this demolition, and we don't know what kind of chemicals can be coming when you do demolition. I don't know, asbestos and all these other things you can destroy the environment, that area. So for these reasons, I expect the request the committee to deny approval for this project or consider alternative.
Thank you.
So.
I think time was, we'll give it another 15 seconds.
Okay, lower impact development, the better align with community needs. Thank you for your attention for this important matter.
Thank you, appreciate it. Anyone else from the public? Come on up, man. Oh, go ahead. State your name and your street name.
Yeah, Lindsay Senya Kennedy.
Okay.
I live right down the street from this section, saw the sign. I respectfully don't think this should be rezoned without even considering whether it's gonna be a gas station or not. I do not see a potential use case for a C3 rezoning this close to a school. Whether it's a gas station or a car wash or any major business, you're gonna be creating traffic that could potentially injure kids. I've watched this intersection most of my life, seeing the traffic start to build up with the additional people picking their kids up from school, and that's, being worked on. Seeing the congestion, the terrible traffic at Joy and Beach Daily where that car wash was put in. Beach Daily is blocked. So I don't know all the use cases of a C3, but if you're gonna be putting something close to a school, it should be oriented towards that school. Build an environment for these kids to go study and these kids to go learn and have activities for foster your youth, not business where you're going to be selling potentially cigarettes right across the street from a school. Like, oh, I accidentally dropped my cigarettes when I was going to the car, kids can pick them up. I mean, I know this might sound fear-mongering, but these are the things you have to consider when just even rezoning, you're opening it up to these things. Like you said, it might not be a gas station, it might be something else, but in my opinion, it shouldn't, even having an auto destination that close to the school, there's been an explosion there in the past 20 years. To put anything that's going to potentially endanger the youth is just asinine. You want to bring business to the city, but this is not the intersection for a gas station for anything that's going to hurt any kids. I mean, that's what's most important to me. And yeah.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, I would like to say, going over the 9 things that you were mentioning, I do not think that it meets the 9 things about the rezoning without going into specific details. But yeah, if you look at, there's no there's no major gas stations by Crestwood. That's a high school, you know what I mean? There's a gas station a quarter mile down the road. You don't need another one even closer to the school. There's 9-year-olds that walk across the streets there. So,
Thank you,
thanks.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? Yes, please, come on up. Please state your name, your street name.
Good evening. I know it's getting late and my morning started at 7 a.m.
Oh.
But I didn't expect all the other things on the agenda, but I appreciate the time that you guys are giving me.
What's your
My name
name?
is Dr. Reem Alabusi, 25711 West Warren.
Oh,
My
okay.
building.
We got your letter right here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's the
All right.
letter here, so I was able to make it to the meeting. And I'm just here to express my opposition to the proposed construction of rezoning and building a gas station. It's to the property that's attached to my building. My practice serves patients of all ages, include many elderly and patients living with chronic health condition. Gasoline vapors from underground storage tanks and fuel pumps release harmful compounds such as benzene, and that's going to aggravate respiratory problems and pose long-term health risks to our patient, our staff, our community, our students as they cross from the Riverside Middle School. Also, my clinic strives to provide a calm, safe environment for care for the patient. And having a gas station there will increase traffic noise, disrupting patient care, potentially deterring patient from seeking needed treatment at my office. This will increase flow and strain parking availability, reduce accessibility for patient with mobility challenges. Beyond health concern, this will diminish the property value and discourage future investment in the other health-related business. For this reason, I respectfully urge the board to deny the application of rezoning. And thank you for your attention. And like I said, you know, like other people have mentioned, there are plenty of gas stations in the area. 0.2 of a mile, there's another gas station away from the school. And, you know, there's other convenience stores that are close by. So if, you know, even approving the rezoning, that's gonna make a lot of issue with the noises and with the safety of the
Thank you,
Riverside
Doctor.
Middle School. Thank you.
Appreciate it. So noted. Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
Commissioner Chair, I'd just like to add, answer some of the concerns of the residents. So as our city council member Saab mentioned, that this
Commissioner
was.
Kirby, just really quick,
Yeah.
if we could close the public hearing before you make your comments, if there's no other further comments.
Waiting for one more. I think I had one more. Do we have any other letters regarding this? No?
Just what was given to you.
Okay. Okay, at this point, no one else from the public, I'd like to close the public hearing. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Chair.
So this site is an existing non-conforming, so at one point it was a gas station with the school across the street and nothing changed.
It was a high school, but respectfully, right?
Yeah, it's not a school. Another concern is with the resident, just to answer your question regarding demolition. Obviously, if they go to demolish the property, they're gonna be required by the state to do a hazardous material report and a survey. And that'll, you know, identify any asbestos on the property. They're not just gonna go tear down the property and asbestos flying out like your concern was. So if there was any asbestos on the property, it would be mitigated, removed properly, and then demolition would take place. For all the concerns of the residents, as our mayor stated earlier, you know, these are sites that one day have to be developed. And we may like it, we may not like it. We can't just have a property sit vacant for decades, like this property has sat. And this investor wants to bring money into the city, which is gonna generate revenue for the city. On the same token, we can't just sit with a vacant property and look at it, you know, for decades. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Mr. Baz?
Yes, I just want to clear a couple of things here. I received 3 or 4 calls from parents at their kids attending Riverside. The same thing, they're concerned about the project as itself. I know it used to be a gas station that probably 20 years ago, the population probably were half of what Dearborn Heights is right now. I mean, things change. I'm not against any business come to the city, especially we need the revenue. There's a lot of ideas. All my concern is just there's so many of the same project close by. But when it comes down to it, we can deal with it. I just wanna actually thank the people coming to the city and they wanna invest in our city. I mean, there's a lot of different ideas. Maybe we can ask these questions to the right people in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else from the commission? Okay, so let's just to rephrase this, at this point, we won't be looking at the request for special land use. We won't be looking at the site plan approval. We'll probably, as the discussion went, that we'll be looking at the zoning change recommendation, whether we recommend approval or disapproval to city council.
Yeah, so based on the applicant's representations that this isn't obviously a full site plan,
Yes.
I would not recommend that the commission really take a deep dive into the standards of the site plan. Again, as I mentioned with the previous rezoning, you're not even going to look at a site plan until it's rezoned. So
Sure.
it would be a motion to recommend approval of the proposed rezoning or recommend denial of the rezoning, obviously based on those 9 standards that Mr. Dibb outlined.
And as you stated earlier, that gas station falls under a special land use and requires a public hearing?
That's correct. So if it is rezoned and the applicant decides to move forward with a proposed development of a gas station or other special land use, the zoning ordinance requires a public hearing.
All right, thank you. So we have choice here that a decision to be made, providing the section 36-497E1 provides the planning commission with the authority to approve with conditions, deny, or table the proposed project. The above analysis is intended to support and assist the commission in this endeavor written by Mr. Dibb.
So just to add to what I was saying earlier, if this site ends up being a gas station at one day, I will make sure that I will be very strict on the traffic flow of that location, just to make sure that all the kids are protected coming in and out of that school. And that's something we'll have to review when it comes to looking at the site plan. But at this point, just a discussion between us, I don't see a problem rezoning it. As our mayor stated earlier, we want to bring developments to the city. I live right around the corner from this site. I look at it every day. It's nothing but vacant, broken windows, people breaking into that building, people are loitering in the property, and it's been like that ever since I lived there, since 2009, 2010. So I think it's time that, a development does come into that location. I thank the developers for investing in the city, and I'm ready to make a motion.
So before I do want to interrupt you, so just to clarify to the public and everyone that a motion to recommend in the city council to approve or deny this, it doesn't mean if they approve it, it's gonna be a gas station. It doesn't mean, it's just changing the zone into C3, which might allow it to be a gas station. At that point, it has to come back in front of us, and we have to look at the site plan. It might not get approved as a gas station at that time.
Does
So
a
we don't
car
know.
wash require a special land use? Like, do any possible cases?
Yes.
Do they all use cases of C3 require special land use?
I don't know, it's case by case, I think that I don't think we can answer that.
It's not all.
We'll defer it to the council.
Yeah, not all uses are special land uses in the C3. There's obviously various uses under the zoning district that require special approval land use. It's outlined in the zoning ordinance. I cannot memorize all of the uses that are permitted by right and need a special land use,
Car
but it's
wash is
all.
permitted, car wash will be permitted.
So, Mr. Turfy, you wanna go ahead and whatever you wanna do with the motion?
I'd like to recommend to city council to rezone proposal SLU SPR 2025-0012 from C-X to C3.
Second that. We have a motion and we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I guess we'll take a roll call here.
Ali Turfi,
Yes.
Ali Ayub,
Yes.
Fadi Akawi,
No.
Hassan Bazzi,
No.
Johnny Vidanovsky,
Yes.
Sam Fadala.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the second part of this request, it would be, probably be best to put a motion to, table the request for special land use and site plan approval until it goes to city council. If it gets approved by city council, the rezoning, they can come back with a full set and look at it.
Yes, so just like the other one, my recommendation would be a motion to postpone until after the city council approves the requested rezoning and the applicant obtains any and all necessary variances. I know we didn't discuss variances this evening, but that way it doesn't come back to planning commission needing variances.
So we'll go with that motion.
Adopt it.
Adopt it. We adopt the motion.
It's getting late.
She's better with emotions than us. Okay, so this one's done. Now the next case.
Somebody's got to second it.
Yeah, we need a second and we
Somebody
need a
second
vote.
it? Somebody
Yeah, we need a
second that
vote.
motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Who was the first and the second, please?
It was the first for Mr. Turfy, second by Johnny Budnowski. Roll call?
Ali Turfi,
Yes.
Ali Ayub,
Yes.
Fadi Akawi,
No.
Hassan Bazzi,
No.
Johnny Vidanovsky,
Yes.
Sam Fadala.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, so that concludes the business of number 3. Number 4 is SPR 2025-0013, 7131 Ford, Ramadan Hamoud, public hearing for special land use for drive-through and outdoor seating, site plan review for a restaurant. Mr. Dick?
Mr. Chair, do you mind if we take a 2-minute recess?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I might.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Back in session. Planning Commission, City of Dearborn Heights. Today is October 9th, 2025. It is now 9:30 p.m. So the next case we have is, I just have a question for our attorney. Since those two cases are identical and identical in analysis as well, and it's the same architect, will be able to bring those two cases together?
So they're technically 2 different sites is my understanding, even though I know they're next door, and they're also 2 different applications. So in theory, what could happen is Mr. Dibb could go over his analysis for this case in great detail, or whatever detail he'd like to do, and then when we come up for the next case, he can kind of give highlights, so to speak. But unfortunately, it is, I know we're trying to get home, but unfortunately,
No,
it's
it's
2
not
different
that. I'm just like, because I read both
Yep.
reports from Mr. Dick, and they're both identical, right?
Sam Khalaf, the design engineer for both projects. Is it possible to bring 27105 in front of 27131?
We've already approved the agenda, so the 27131 is the first one on the agenda, so we wouldn't be able to.
I mean, we could probably just do a motion to reverse that if you like, possible.
The reason for that is because the 27105 has the drive that coming from Ford Road. They share the driveway between the two properties.
I mean, I guess if the applicant wants to present them together, that's fine, but that's up to the applicant. I don't know if you would prefer to present them both at the same time, or if you would like to do them separately.
I would like to do them both at the same time.
Okay, then if the applicant is okay with that,
First, then we'll go from there. So,
and just make sure that you call both case numbers now, Mr.
sure.
Chair.
So the first case is SPR 2025-0013, bearing address 27131 Ford Road. The second case is SPR 2025-0014, address 27015. I would like to hear Mr. Deep on his report on both of these. You want to start with the first one, number 13?
Okay. Mr. Chair, so you're absolutely correct. Their similarity, very similar. However, they are unique in some instances. And what I'll do is I'll do what the attorney had just said. I'll go in detail on one, and then we can highlight the difference between.
Okay, thank you.
Once we identify what the concerns are, and there are quite a few. The review, I reviewed the package submitted, dated 9/10/2025, prepared by GK Consulting on behalf of the applicant. Please understand, this property is currently zoned CX, Commercial Residential Mixed Use. This is important. You need to keep that in mind, because I was surprised as to why that is. So the proposed development is permitted use in the CX district minus the drive-in or drive-through. That's important. That's not permitted in CX. And I don't know why that area was zoned that way, but I included a copy of the zoning, and I enlarged it for you to know that. For that area on Ford Road, apparently the entire thing is C2 except that one location. It's CX. So I didn't do that. So the drive-in or drive-through in that district is prohibited.
Wow.
Okay.
Was there an actual reason for that, or was that just a mistake?
No, it's not a mistake. Actually, this is what the zoning map shows. And I know further down east, you will find drive-in, Starbucks, or whatever, but it's a different zoning. Now, that's what the current conditions are. So we'll go through the project site, but I just wanted to point that out. Now, it's not prohibited to have a restaurant. But it's the drive-through. Project description: proposed facility is located on Ford Road between Amboy and Inkster. This development calls for the demolition of an existing structure, residential, and the construction of a new restaurant with a drive-through and outdoor seating. Project description: the applicant is proposing to build a 3,000 square foot retail structure along with outdoor seating and single drive-through with 18 on-site parking spaces. Compatibility with adjacent uses: the proposed land use shall be designed and constructed and operated to be maintained and compatible with uses in the surrounding land. I'm not gonna go into details, it's exactly what I covered before. So the location of the screening and vehicle circulation and parking area is in relation to surrounding development, and the landscaping and other amenities in additional to the above requirements. Now the analysis: the proposed use is consistent with the local zoning, adjacent uses, and considered compatible, again, minus the drive-through. The review is limited to the submitted site plan, which show minimal landscaping and 95+% of hard surface development. Compatibility with the master plan: the proposed land use shall be consistent with the general principles and objective of the city's master plan. The property is in an area designated commercial residential mixed use, again CX. That's what this location is in the master plan, and this is consistent, again minus the drive-through. The public services: the proposed land use shall be located as to be adequately served by essential public facility and services. And so the analysis is the proposed land use is adequately served by roads, which obviously the Ford Road. Additional engineering review will be required to verify stormwater and sanitary sewer capacity, and we'll go through that in details shortly, because Impact of traffic, we'll go over it. Impact of traffic, the location of the proposed land use within the zoning district shall minimize the impact of traffic generated by the proposed land use. So the items we look at, proximity and access to major thoroughfare, estimated traffic generated by that use, proximately in relation to intersections, adequacy of driver sight distance, location and access of off-street parking, required vehicular turning movement, and provisions for pedestrian traffic. Analysis, the proposed use is located on Ford Road, which is a major thoroughfare. The applicant has not submitted any traffic impact study or analysis or otherwise provided traffic detail to analyze the potential traffic impact, or section 36495 provide the planning commission with the authority to request traffic impact study. Ford Road, being an MDOT major artery, will require state approval prior to construction. Now, one comment, and this is a new development for me anyway, the city's engineering department currently coordinates all development with appropriate agencies. So for a change, we actually coordinate our work with appropriate agencies, which means the MDOT staff and I have met, and we're looking at any impact that our city development imposes on state major roadways, Ford, Michigan Avenue, Telegraph, and so on. And the staff at MDOT indicated that they have not given their approval for the drive or the taper lane yet. They did talk to you, but they haven't given their approval yet. So this site does not add any additional pedestrian amenities beyond what's existing on the sidewalk. The site plan approval. The submitted site plan included in this application is for planning purposes only. Architectural engineering documents will be required prior to the construction permit process. And we again coordinate with the building department to make sure that these conditions are met. Such things like electrical, mechanical, and as well as utility information will be reviewed and may have conditions of approval by the building department prior to construction. So proposed site plans provide little information regarding actual operation. So the following details will be required. Proposed screen walls along the property lines, outdoor seating arrangements, and that's another one of outdoor seating arrangements. All the requirements that I indicated earlier about outdoor seating, the number of seats, the parking requirement, all that good stuff. Stormwater mitigation. So the plan called for shared stormwater with from MDOT road right away. That's not gonna fly. MDOT's not gonna let you tap into their stormwater. This site is over half acres, so the Wayne County stormwater management standards will apply. It's already over half acres, each site. And the designer must show evidence of compliance with it prior to city approval. Outdoor seating as proposed lack the required details, as I mentioned earlier, which must include the separation method between the sidewalk and vehicular traffic. And sections 36-365 establishes required parking per use group for the city of Dearborn Heights. So outdoor seating required additional parking space for every 2 seats. Again, if I don't see how many seats you propose, I can't calculate the proposed parking. Section 36170 requires the hour of operation for outdoor seating must be specified on the site plan. Hour of operation is subject to approval by the planning commission during the review of the site plan. And outdoor seating must also be reviewed by the police chief, building official, city engineer, and input submitted by the planning commission should be on that part of the review process. Before I conclude this, I just wanted to make sure that the part that you need to be aware of, we are coordinating with the city, with the MDOT. MDOT had made a point to city engineering group that the last remaining portion of Ford Road between Amboy and Inkster has currently 6 driveways because it serves 6 different residential or former residential street houses. What they're telling me is that they will not allow 6 driveways off of Telegraph or combined driveway. What they like to see is similar to what they told this designer, common drive, sort of like the Hyatt Shopping Center entrance, and then you share, which makes sense. The challenge here, and I relate that to their engineering department, is that they are parcels owned by various entities. It's not a single owner. So for me to say that the city is going to require a single entrance and then you share may be difficult to do. However, what they're saying that even the existing one, which I didn't know that the one on Amboy, that is currently a temporary drive. That's not their permanent drive. So they did approve it on temporary basis, pending the full, plan for the entire section between Amboy and Inkster.
About the coffee shop?
That's the coffee that's under construction. So I did verify that with the architect who received state approval, but it was temporary approval for that drive. So the challenge here is common drive, shared flow traffic between parcels. That's their requirement. So
Are you talking the whole stretch from Amboy to Inkster?
That's
How many
what they're
houses,
Six.
including that? Six.
Well, actually, not all the way to Inkster. It's all the way to the Jagged Ford. Jagged Ford.
Right.
Jagged Ford.
So that, I got a question, Mr. Deep. So that temporary driveway, did they put a time frame on it and how long they could use it for?
So, actually, they said until new developments come. Now, I do understand, this new development is it's not next door to,
There's a home in
to
the
the
middle.
coffee, yeah, it's next door to the Jagged, so it's on the west end, not on the east end. The challenge though is, so, if they wanted to have a combined entry, like the Hyatt Shopping, where would it be? And how would that flow with the rest of the parcels? And then if a decel lane is required, it's a challenge. It's a big challenge.
I was just wondering how this driveway was approved anyways. I mean, I was gonna mention that to you, Mr. Dib. I'm looking at it right now. You drive right
Yeah.
there. You can't even get in from
Yeah.
Ford Road. This
Yeah.
is very, very dangerous when someone's driving east on Ford and wants to turn right into the coffee shop.
So imagine if you have six.
Yeah, that's,
So what's the solution here though? Isn't that something we should be discussing like ahead
So
of these
this
developments?
came about literally after I received, actually a day before I received these, because I had received a call from MDOT after they met with the designer, and they did tell me they met with the designer, and it's like, it's a challenge to the city. And I did relay the same information. This is not a single development, like a single owner that owns all six or seven parcels. And that's when they told me, well, you have a temporary drive off of, Amboy and Ford. Again, it's not my requirement, it's not the city's requirement. Does it make sense? It probably does. The issue here is safety off of a major thoroughfare with that many. Residential is one thing. If you had residential, the traffic flow is nothing compared to a restaurant or, outdoor seating. These are the requirements that were brought in. Again, I think they're legitimate.
okay, I have just two questions for you.
Shoot.
With respect to the stormwater and the sanitary sewer capacity, didn't we just install a brand new sewer line to the south in the alley of that? The one we talked about?
Sanitary.
Sanitary.
It wasn't a brand new one. It was relined. The sanitary was relined, so that's why I didn't mention the capacity.
Which one is the brand new one? Behind Tropical Smoothie all the way down to?
Yeah. So, but it flows east, and it doesn't go to this location.
This one flows south. Okay. All right. The second thing is you mentioned that the drive-through is not allowed in these specific two locations.
So again, CX district, and if you look at the drive-through business in the CX district is not allowed. Again, this is the book, it's not me.
I know. I think the book is wrong because we have a bunch of them. Yeah.
Not
we have
in
this
that
coffee
location.
shop. We have the Tropical Smoothie. We have Starbucks. They're all on the same line.
C2.
Do you think there's zones
It's a different classic zoning.
So could it be just west of Amboy on Ford Road, only one house is zoned with drive-through?
No, the whole thing is.
Yeah, it's just a stretch of CX versus the rest of the C2s. Again, I'm just following what's.
Well, Mr. Deeb, do you think they're zone CX for that exact reason that you mentioned? That the state
No.
and the city does not want all these ingresses, egresses off the road?
No, because that wouldn't, no, I think the state is okay with it if you have a common entrance, and he particularly said, look, duplicate the high chopping. You have a single entrance and then you've got traffic flow behind it. And
So
you can
that
flow
coffee shop is
through-
CX?
No, you're talking about the entrance way. So he wants to, the state wanted to minimize driveways,
I
right?
understand.
Entry and exits. Circulation inside is a separate issue. Now, the high chopping is easier because it's a single ownership when it was developed. This is a challenge, and I don't know what the answer to that is because it's different parcels, right?
Honestly, it sounds like a nightmare, because if we end up approving these plans right here, based on the ingress and egress, there's parking spots there, so let's say down the line, MDOT says, okay, we're gonna do one entrance.
Yeah.
Now we gotta remove all these parking spots, and how you gonna tell somebody that you just approved the site plans, they can't park in there? And now that opens up the city to litigation. and lawsuits.
Which is why I'm bringing that up now, as it was, or a different way of looking, again, I don't wanna pretend to be on
Let's
the
hear-
legal
let's
side,
hear from-
but
let's
maybe
hear-
the answer is to have the state approval first prior to.
Okay,
you know.
let's hear from the engineer on this. Please state your name.
Yeah, Ghassan Kalab, design engineer, Middleville, Garden City, Michigan. First, I want to talk about the prohibiting of drive-through in CX. I thought you guys just approved one and it's constructed, it's on Ford and Amboy. Isn't it part of the CX? The new one?
The one I was just asking you about, the coffee shop, the drive-through coffee shop.
The corner.
The corner one.
Yeah.
That's CX.
Is it on Amboy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where that is.
The corner one.
Was it approved? It's right here.
It was approved.
It's the date.
Was it approved?
Right there.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's.
And sorry, just to introduce myself briefly, I'm Ari Goldstein, attorney for 27105 Ford Road LLC, the applicant for the, I'm not sure which order we're doing them in at this point, but
yeah.
one of the conjoined applications here.
Sure.
And my understanding of the use table for the Dearborn Heights zoning ordinance is that in CX, drive-through businesses are an accessory use, or an approved accessory use,
Yep.
and restaurants are permitted use for CX.
Right.
So I'm just not sure where this idea that drive-throughs are prohibited is coming from.
Accessory use to approval.
Right, yes, okay, all right. As long as we're all on the same page there, but just wanted to clarify that.
Can you rephrase that, Mr. D?
So,
Accessory use to
in the
what?
in the CX zoning, the drive-through businesses are only allowed as an accessory use to a permitted use. This is what, so they're only allowed as an accessory use to a permitted use or to a special land use. However, a restaurant is only permitted in the CX if it does not have a drive-through.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Rose. Sorry.
So, in looking at the black letter of the law on the zoning ordinance, Mr. Dibb is correct. I mean, it is a weird instance in terms of the drive-through business is only permitted as an accessory use. An accessory use defined under the zoning ordinance is accessory to a permitted use or to a special land use. The way that the table reads is that a restaurant is allowed as a permitted use by right in CX without a drive-in and without a drive-through. It's my understanding, in talking with city administration, that these types of applications that include a proposed drive-through have been considered as special land uses rather than accessory uses to a permitted use. Legally speaking, I don't think that this is considered a special land use. I think that if anything, it would be considered accessory to a permitted use, but again, I think that there needs to be a determination of what actually if this is allowed, because the table is very interesting. I know that we've had a prior user come in, I don't know all the details of the one that has been discussed, but this is a little bit of an odd situation, and I wanna make sure that whatever approvals are required, are considered by the city and analyzed because it is a very different situation.
I understand that, okay, it's an accessory use to a permitted use. If the permitted use in the CX is a restaurant, and the drive-through is an accessory to the restaurant, so it is permitted.
But when you look,
That's how you break it down.
and when you look at the table though, is where the weirdness comes in is that a restaurant is permitted only without a drive-in and only without a drive-through.
See, that's,
So,
that's.
I'm just,
It's like-
all I can do, Mr. Chair, is give you what's in the zoning ordinance.
I know, but we just need direction from you. How do we proceed here? This is not easy to, determine the right judgment on.
And then we have this issue with the ingresses and egresses that, Mr. Deeb was talking about, the MDOT is not even gonna approve all these ingresses and egresses.
So let's ask.
You guys approved the corner lot, right? The one right on Amboy?
Excuse me,
Corridor?
sir. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you involved in this project?
Yeah, I'm the owner.
You're the owner?
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
please state your name and your street name, please.
Ali
Just for the
Wahab.
record, that's how.
Ali Wahab, Ford Road.
Okay, all right.
I think we address a lot of your concerns. We're combining two parcels in one driveway. The neighbor, who's the doctor, is combining two parcels in one driveway. The corner is the one that's concerning. It got its own driveway by itself. It got approved for a drive-through with no questions asked. But now a drive-through is not permitted. I mean, I had a question about how that happened.
Yeah, so that's actually a great question, because I don't recall that site coming before us. Did that site come before us?
So it happened illegally?
So that's, I can't say what happened. I wasn't there. Maybe I missed the meeting on that one.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there.
I can tell you that the driveway issue concern, we're literally addressing it by combining our two parcels with one driveway. The neighbor has two parcels with one driveway in the shopping center that you guys had already approved. And then the corner is the one that's of concern. He's the one with his own driveway.
So let me just understand this, and I'm sorry, let me just speak here. You have one parcel.
Yes.
And who has the other parcel?
He's not here.
He's not
Okay.
He's the neighbor.
So those two, you guys are in agreement that you combine in both parcels and you build in two restaurants?
He's
and
doing
you
his
have
own
a-
restaurant, I'm doing my own, but we agreed to work
You're
on
doing a
the
shared
driveway,
driveway.
on the shared driveway, exactly.
Okay, Mr. Dick, that is,
Okay, so the driveway off of Ford Road is a state, issue. If they give them approval with a decel, that's between, that's not us. That road
Okay,
belongs
so
to the
that
city.
resolves that issue.
That's
So you
ODOT.
can approve it with that condition, right?
no, that resolves that issue.
Yeah,
that's-
exactly.
I mean,
Well,
that
Mr.
is fine.
Deeb is saying that MDOT wants ultimately one driveway that goes to all the parcels.
No,
They
H2.
don't want
That's
six
right, yeah,
driveways.
that's
H2.
So,
That's gonna be a
so
tough
this
one.
is.
Yeah, you're not, six driveways is impossible,
But
but I
that's
think we
MDOT, MDOT owns that road.
I just wanna say something.
Okay, what's your time? I'm sorry, we cut you off, Hassan.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
I talked already with the traffic and safety engineer and MDOT, Faisal, and he said that combined as many parcels as possible. So in order for Dr. Bitar, which is the next door property to the east, he has two parcels with one driveway. And then we have two parcels here, 105 and 131, combined into one driveway. And we have something called access management in between. So whoever is in any parcels of these can go to the other parcel. Okay, they can share the access, and the access is gonna be very beneficial for the traffic, very beneficial for truck circulation, garbage trucks, and fire truck circulation.
So like the
Also-
same thing with the Shatila and all these.
Exactly. So it's similar to the Shatila one. We haven't, like, if you look at it as a whole picture, between Dr. Bitar and Ali and the Ramadan property, all of them, they come to four parcels, which is similar to Shatila. We have like kind of two driveways with tapers. Also, from 27131, which is the one that we're discussing now, we're given access management to the one to the west, 27151. So in the future, if they want to develop their own,
How
they
many
have
still
access.
to the west? Two more?
Two more to the west.
Okay.
Makes sense.
And they'll have, that's the one owner on that property, to the ones.
On both? On both? Two properties to the west, one home?
I believe they're one owner, yeah.
Have you guys
Yeah, they are
contacted
one
them?
owner.
Have you guys spoken with them? Any contact with them?
No,
Hassan, with respect to the drive-through,
Mhm.
have you researched the ordinance on that and you Is this the first you hear about it? Or, I mean, you saw Mr. Deep's letter and.
I did not see the letter, to be honest with you. I mean, we don't get the letter from the city. But we have the one which is exactly 2 parcels, like not more than 100 feet away from our parcel, which has the same zoning. Okay, how come this one is allowed to have a drive-through and this one is not allowed?
That was my question.
Whatever applied to that parcel applied to ours.
I should agree with that, I mean, just, okay.
Yeah, and the entire zoning ordinance reads like that, a restaurant without drive-through, C2, C3, C4, all of them. So that the accessory use, that I believe the intent of it was as an accessory to a permitted use. So a restaurant on its own is a permitted use, cannot have a drive-through. If it's listed as an accessory under that zoning, it can have it. Because that would apply to C2, C3, C4, everything would be non-conforming on Ford Road at that point. So.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Hassan.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
No, I think the biggest issue here is not whether the drive-through or not. The biggest issue is what Mr. Deep is talking about. I don't think nobody's taking this really seriously. Is he's talking about MDOT is saying that they're not gonna give all these properties ingresses and egresses.
We're not asking for that.
I'm sorry, just let me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And what we are doing, we have in one driveway with 2 parcels. And then from these 2 parcels, there will be access management. So if MDOT comes later and they say these other parcels, they are not allowed to have
They have
driveway,
access from you, right?
then they can share from our driveway.
Yeah, just make sure you don't put any parking spots in those
No.
sites.
There are no parking.
Yeah, but based on what Mr. Deep said that MDOT wants one entrance that goes to all the parcels.
So how you force the other 2 guys of having a driveway? They are residential.
That's the question.
They can't
We have
force it.
our own, we're coming to the business here.
And they can't prevent you from developing the land. They will give you the approval on that.
We have our own, and then we are given access management to the next door, and the next door given to the next door. And then you will have a traffic circulation that is not gonna affect.
And even if you go down to Shakila, it's one developer with multiple driveways.
I think
It's
the
a-
attorney
it's about
wanted to
two
speak,
parcels,
wants to say
two
something.
driveways.
I just wanted to note, this is a plan that you developed in conjunction with MDOT, right? You've been in conversation with them.
I talked with MDOT, MDOT, they say combine as many as possible.
Exactly.
So as many as possible is
This is
we
being
cannot
done in
combine.
consultation with MDOT.
It's gonna open up a bunch of lawsuits. Mr. Deep, you wanna say something?
No, what I'm saying is, it could be condition of approval based on MDOT's, requirements. So
And I asked the architect, I mean, you get the approval, you get this, I mean, you went through this with MDOT, right?
We did not go that deep, but with MDOT that we had the discussion is.
I mean, it doesn't matter if we approve it, and they're not gonna let you open that
So
driveway.
conditional on that.
That's
yeah,
fine.
good.
No, it has to be conditional on that.
Yeah, absolutely, that's fine, no problem.
Because when I originally seen this, I thought it was genius. You guys are working together to take off stress off of Ford Road, so you don't have multiple ingresses and egresses. And I love that. I like what you guys are doing.
And if you see the plans for the other project, which is 105, you will see that we have access management to the next door property, which is to Dr. Vitar. So
That's
all
nice.
of them, they're gonna,
That's nice.
Off the subject for a second, what happened with Dr. Vitar's, his project that we approved, was it a couple of years ago? I'll ask you, Hassan, since you're on the record, because you're the architect on that.
Okay, we're gonna do
What do you mean by what happened? When is gonna happen? When is
Yes.
gonna build?
Yes,
Early next year.
early next
My,
year?
my plan is the first quarter of next year.
Because you have the 2
2026.
parcels.
2 parcels, yes.
Well, see, that takes care of the whole line, so that leaves us 2 at the west
So
side.
that's the plan that we're gonna go with
Thank you.
MDOT. We're gonna tell them that we have in these 2 driveways with the shared management between all of them, and also providing the access management to the parcels.
What
to the-
kind of
to the-
that's gonna be your problem with MDOT.
It's my problem.
Okay.
What kind of restaurants you guys thinking?
We own Mud and Marble. I don't know if you guys have heard of Mud and
Get
Marble.
closer, please, so.
I don't know if you guys have heard of Mud and Marble Coffee.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, we own Mud and Marble.
They're on,
Yeah.
Michigan Avenue.
So we're planning on bringing, it's an American style coffee,
This
that's not
is-
Starbucks,
this
it's
is
not Yemeni
state
coffee
of
shop.
the- State-of-the-art place.
Yeah, so we're planning on doing that there.
It's like, how much coffee can we consume?
Yeah, but this isn't Yemeni coffee, this is like high-end, this is high-end American
We're
style
drinking more
coffee.
coffee than the whole world right
I
now.
swear to God.
And nothing against Yemeni coffee, don't get me wrong, but it's
What
just.
about the second store, what's it gonna be?
I think it was talking about ice cream.
Ice cream?
Yeah.
Ice cream will do good there, I think we need an ice cream shop. Okay, Ali?
So are we just doing these separately? So which one were we on right now?
Let's
We on
do
14?
separately.
114?
Yes.
121?
Chair, I also think, the record should reflect that there's no one here in the public that wishes to speak as
Well,
well.
there is a public hearing on this, okay. Just, at this point, I'd like to open, Hassan, you're done?
Yeah.
Okay, please have a seat for a second. At this point, I'd like to open the public hearing. Anyone from the public would like to speak on these two projects, the one at 271314 Ford and the one at 27105 Ford?
I received a letter, an invitation
Oh.
for public hearing.
Please add to my timeline, come on up. Doctor doesn't have,
Conflict of interest.
doctor doesn't have work tomorrow.
I do, 7:30 in the morning.
Please, your name and your street name.
Yeah, Ali Vitar, Biltmore, Dearborn Heights.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I have no problem with the project because the whole zone was rezoned, commercial and residential. So the projects are coming one after the other. And we're working together to solve all the problems, to comply with all the rules and regulations. So I don't see any issues with this one.
Okay, thank you, doctor. We appreciate it. I look forward to see your project, so we can complete the whole line over there, and we'll be done with Ford Road. Then,
To be honest with you, I was waiting on the city to send me a letter about the estimate, how much it's gonna be in order to go with the
you need
project.
to talk to Mr. Dick, he's over there, so you come see him he has his own office now,
Yeah.
across from the building department.
Okay.
And I think he's very helpful.
Yeah,
Okay?
okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so anyone else from the public? Hearing none, closing the public hearing on these two cases. Now we're going back to Commissioner Turfy, you had something?
So I'd make a motion to approve site plan 2025-0013, which includes a drive-through and outdoor seating.
Special. Any second on that?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We don't need a roll call, right? No, we're good? Okay. Now SPR 2025-0014 for 27105 Ford Road.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Chair, just so it's clear for the record as well, that the public hearing was obviously open and closed for both of those cases, because the applicant wanted to, move those
So
in
noted, the
conjunction.
public hearing was open and closed for two cases, SPR 2025-0013 and SPR 2025-0014. Public hearing was open and closed. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I forgot to include, MDOT's approval, conditional approval for MDOT on the ingress and egress off of, Ford Road. Could we add that to the motion?
So if you want to, so if you want to withdraw your previous motion, and whoever supported it can withdraw their previous support, and then we can go back to that.
I'm gonna withdraw my previous motion on 2025-0013.
I withdraw my second on 2025-0013.
I'd like to make a motion to approve SPR.
Essentially, it would be a motion to rescind, I'm sorry. Motion to rescind, but.
Motion to rescind, 2025-0013.
Hang on. Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to approve SPR 2025-0013, approve site plans, drive-throughs, which includes outdoor seating with conditional approval for MDOT's ingress and egress.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passed. SPR 2025-0014, do we have a motion for that?
I'd like to put a motion to approve SLU SPR number 20250014, based on MDOT approval as well.
Second.
I second the motion.
It was second by Johnny. Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Bazey, second by Mr. Benlowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Review past cases, none. Possible case future 25, it says none. Postponed cases.
Okay, good luck.
Postponed cases, SPR 2024-0006. Here, none. And the other postponed cases are 25442, Van Warren.
We're still in the meeting, okay?
Nobody. And SPR 2025-0007, Inkster PSB Investment LLC.
Mr. Chair, for the two postponed cases from 2024, it's my understanding that letters were sent at the direction of the commission last meeting. I do not believe any response was received. So at this point, if the planning commission wants to essentially do away with these cases for lack of progress, a motion to dismiss could be in order, because there has, I don't think, been any movement for almost a year.
Okay, I'd like to put a motion to dismiss SPR 2024-0006 and SPR 2024.
I'm gonna do them separately, I'm sorry.
Want to do them separately?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I hate to be that person.
I put a motion to dismiss SPR 2024-0006.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, who seconded that? If you could speak into
Bazey.
the microphone, thank you.
Bazey. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I'd like to put a motion to dismiss SPR 2024-0008.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bazey, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we have the last one, which is SPR 2025-0007. Site plan review for condo units with attached garage.
I don't think there's been any update, but I would just recommend a motion to postpone the next regularly scheduled planning commission meeting.
Okay, I'll put a motion to postpone SPR 2025-007 till next meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I put a motion to adjourn the meeting. Any second?
Second motion.
All in favor?
Aye.